You like this kind of fighting, huh?
Yeah.
You want to see some real fighting, you can see me fight at the Kumite.
I'm here too for the Kumite.
Aren't you a little young for full contact?
Aren't you a little old for video games?
TalkRadar 113. We were going to have Scott on to talk about Rock Band, but, oh, wouldn't you know it, the Harmonix guys, the leading developers in terms of sound and music, broke our headset. So, say hi to the people, Scotty.
Hi, everyone. This is Scott Butterworth, proving that I was here and was going to be on TalkRadar, but yeah, one of the headsets is pretty well fucked, so instead, I'm not going to be on the podcast, and it's going to be just as great. Right, Chris Antista? Everything's awesome. Nothing is fucked. Yay! Oh, God, we could have talked about... Oh, man, you can tell them about it. It's great. All right, I love you, TalkRadar kids. I'll see you next week, maybe. Possibly. Bye.
Scott Butterworth, P-Tom, on his... talking about his near appearance on TalkRadar.
Teasing next week's appearance.
What a day. But it's a good one. It's a good one today. We're gonna announce those Transformers winners. Oh, let's say the name of the surviving cast. I'm Chris Antista.
I'm Michael Raparos.
I am Brett Elston.
That's Brett Elston.
It's our first 3-person podcast in probably a year or something.
No offense, Scotty, because he's still in the room taking his computer, but I love our 3-persons cast. They've always been very intimate. Get into it, Michael. Yeah.
Yeah.
Are you working?
Maybe a little.
All right. Oh, now we really need you. Scott can't talk about Rock Band 3, but
neither can I.
I can talk about Other M.
But you know who can? There's an interview with the Harmonix guys.
Oh, nice.
Lead designers and big muckety mucks behind Dance Central and Rock Band 3.
Oh, I love Mr. Muck.
Mm-hmm. And we're going to announce the Transformers winners. You guys are very mean.
You broke Henry's spirit.
You broke Henry's spirit. I think we have another game to give away. We'll tell you that. No?
Yes, we do. I have a code.
You're going to have to wait.
Getting ahead of myself.
And sooner or later we'll translate the meaning of this.
That hoe ass shit, man. This some hoe ass shit, man. This old hoe ass shit, man.
Well, yes, we'll tell you the meaning of that hoe ass shit.
3 accents at once.
I know.
Wow.
I know, Ming.
Hoe ass shit, Ming.
But yes, first, I guess we have to thank our sponsors, Arc-Rise Fantasia, exclusively for Nintendo Wii, from the creators of Luminous Arc. Because the new epic role-playing game's got 3D graphics, modern gameplay that push the envelopes of the Wii's capabilities, classic Japanese high fantasy role-playing action involving airships, dragons, and a huge cast of characters. Brett, the music, who's it by?
Oh, Yasunori Mitsuda is a great man. Does great work.
Who did what?
Chrono Cross, Chrono Trigger would be the most prominent ones. Xenogears, Xenosaga.
Ooh, and Arc-Rise Fantasia also has progressive scan and true 16:9 widescreen support with over 20 hours of gameplay exclusively for the Nintendo Wii. Thank you very much, Arc-Rise. We appreciate it.
Appreciate you for taking an interest in our little podcast.
Oh, while I'm whoring stuff.
Yes.
Mobile users, check us out on
Stitcher.
On Stitcher. It's at Stitcher.com, but there's an app for Blackberries, Androids, all this stuff. It's basically a podcast platform that requires no downloads or syncing. And it's all streaming. You can easily organize stuff. We're on there automatically. Pause, rewind. iTunes is nice even on the iPhone, but it's really a pain in the ass most of the time.
It's one of those weird things that it works well, but it is huge.
Yeah,
and it's a clumsy thing to do if you're just trying to listen to one thing.
So I have no problem recommending Stitcher. And I think they throw us up on the front page now, so that's very nice of them. Thank you, Stitcher.com. Oh my God, should we get into our feature presentation?
Let's do it.
Oh my goodness. What is it this week?
Well, we start every week with the top 7.
The top 7 at GamesRadar.com.
For Games Radar. And this week was done by Justin Talver, UK Men.
Mm-hmm.
Top 7 births in video games.
Births!
We saw it coming up on the tracker and we're like, births?
Births.
How are you going to, what?
You mean like the Konami Rebirth series?
Yeah, but then we were like, surely it's not going to be about things being born, and sure enough, it was.
It was.
And it actually came out to be a very thorough list.
And we have sponsors now. I don't want to talk about what actually creates or causes a birth. That's disgusting.
Yep.
and as is the act of it.
But it's disgusting. You should all hate it and be gay.
Oh, exactly. They just repealed Prop 8. Shouldn't be a problem for you guys.
Yeah, exactly.
Don't know what to do, nothing else, go gay. It's great. But just to convey what birth is, I put together something horrible using some of our favorite characters from Left 4 Dead.
Oh, good.
Ah! Oh, Lewis!
Come on, girl.
I don't feel so hot.
You'll be fine, girl.
You're an optimist. I'll give you that, Lewis.
The ER music?
Oh,
It might be.
It might be.
Fire in the hole!
This is bad.
I need help now!
This is really bad.
Shit! 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 Incoming! Woo, baby, all right. See, Francis said you weren't gonna make it, but I said I had a good feeling about you.
Somebody
bleeding.
burst that baby's bubble.
Oh, yes. I spent way too long making that. What a day today has been. But births.
Were any of those part of the... I think I heard some fucks when you threw down a headset and walked away from your desk?
Yeah.
Making
nothing was working, blah, blah, blah. Ryan McCaffrey was hogging the harmonics people, which I think they're also on KOXM maybe this week. I don't know. But I was on last week. That was a lot of fun.
Yep.
It's also on Pokemon Monday, which was very awkward because I don't know anything about Pokemon, but nobody else could do it.
I heard you didn't know what a Bulbasaur was.
I didn't. I did not.
That's embarrassing.
I did not. That's why I'll need you for a certain entry on this list. But I did appreciate 510 Brother Panda. The only one I could name was Totodile. The only time I played the game, I was with a Totodile. And it's a picture of me and a Totodile, and he drew it, and it was nice.
Which apparently you called a Chocodile.
Did I? No, I said I wanted a Chocodile. Chocodile and a Cookie Puss.
Do you even have Carvels around here?
I don't know. Maybe Nintendo should look into that.
Viva Pinata was a Cocodile.
A Cocodile?
Yes. Top 7 births.
Top
everyone.
7 births. Top 7 births.
Top
Back
7
on
births.
track.
Number 7 on the list is a game that I still have not played and really should.
Really? You couldn't have even started the game without playing this point in the game.
Yeah, that's
kind of
true.
great.
Fallout 3.
Do you want to explain it a little bit, Michael? I know you played a bunch of it.
I will say I'm kind of hoping they replicate this in Fallout New Vegas, but you're automatically born with Elvis shades. I think that'd be pretty cool. It's basically a character creator disguised as this is what you're going to look like, and now you're going through birth and then it's the tutorial disguised as birth. Here's how to move when you're a toddler. Here's how to talk to people when you're a kid.
And it's
here's how to fight when you're an adolescent.
Here's the noise. I think it's birthing. Uh-oh. Oh, gross. Is that the sound it makes when you come through a vagina?
Maybe that's what your ears hear.
I don't know. It sounds like someone exploding in Red Dead Redemption. And then this.
What is it? Does it?
Here, like uh-oh, what is it? And
Let's see. Are you a boy or a girl?
Select.
It's a boy. A boy. We've got a son, Catherine. A beautiful, healthy
Boy.
boy.
I believe that's Liam Neeson doing the Norwegian King of Names. It's I name you boy. Wow, I had no energy for that. Anybody else? Fallout?
Well, do you see any of the birth canal like coming
first
out?
person.
Is it like? Well, I know it's like you coming out of it, but does it do like a slit that opens up and then your character comes out of it, or is it just like dark that fades into light?
Like a ride at Disneyland?
You know what I'm saying?
The curtains pull back?
Yeah, like one of those things. I don't know, Michael. Does it?
I don't remember.
You don't remember being born?
I haven't played through the opening of Fallout since I got my hands on the game.
Oh man,
that settles that.
I win.
Number 6 is Pokemon.
Is it Pokemans?
Pokemans.
Mm-hmm.
I tried to get a sound of this, but I wasn't sure what exactly it was.
The egg hatching noise is that pickle pickle, boom 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 boom.
Maybe I'll put it in post.
Boom boom boom. It's good stuff.
All
Sounds
right,
like
Pokemans.
a hoedown.
I like it.
Well,
what?
I mean,
more than that?
Pokemans, it's just... Well, the first egg that hatches is a starter you choose at the beginning of the game. But later on, when you figure out how to start breeding Pokemon and getting them, it's always very exciting because...
I'll tell you, I wish... who wrote this article?
Justin Towle.
I wish Justin Towle would have switched 6 with 2.
Okay.
I'm just saying, because I think births, they happen a lot more in Pokemon, but they mean something very crucial.
Yeah.
As opposed to most of the stuff is just sort of an opening or
a thing that happens.
A thing that happens once, but like.
Yeah, Pokemon. It's always
Pokemon.
it's a mix of the music and there's a little bit of an uncertainty involved because is it going to be shiny? Is it going to have some new traits that you're breeding for? Is it like the preferred nature, a gender? All these things that they don't even explain in the instruction manual. But there's a cool thing because the eggs have to hatch after a certain number of steps, and so you have to carry this egg with you for a long time. So you do get attached to this idea of this egg. It needs to hatch. I need the thing in it. And then when you get it, you get that chime.
All the Pokemon.
That theme song plays, and then you get this. Oh, it pops out, and then celebratory music, and then you name it. And
you hatch from a fucking egg. It's fucking Snorlax.
And then you throw them in a.
Could do this accent forever.
And if it's if you're breeding for a
no,
I'm serious here. If you're breeding for a preferred nature, or something else, some kind of trait or an egg move that you're trying to get,
sure,
and you don't get it, that birth means nothing, and it's literally like throwing a Pokemon in the dumpster.
I'm going to have to cut you off right there, Elson. But
I even made a dumpster baby joke.
Oh, you did?
Yes.
I was going to say that they have laws about how if you don't throw your
Oh,
Pokemon in the dumpster, you can.
Yeah, Pokemans have a trimester.
Hand it over at a Pokemon Center with.
The dumpster is everyone's
No
PC
questions
because
asked?
everyone dumps their Pokemons into these PCs, and it's like that's where you put all these Pokemon. You'll be level 2 forever.
What's the world of Pokemon called?
They change each game.
What's the latest one?
I don't know. Black and White. I'm not sure. Sinnoh is the Diamond and Pearl.
Do they
one,
have an equivalent of China where people throw away female Pokemon? What?
No, they're all kind of the same. Boring.
All right, seriously this time.
Number 5.
Number 5.
Another one
I loved this when I
another
saw
one
it.
I can't speak to.
It was Assassin's Creed 2, and right when Desmond, one of the first things you do in the game is you're Desmond. You jump into the Animus, take the reins of Ezio's memory. How would you say that? And you start at his birth, actually moving his legs around. That's the first move you make as Ezio, moving his legs and arms as a baby.
It's one of those things I didn't quite get it the first time I saw it, that Ezio was stillborn. That and his father's basically saying in Italian, no, he's an auditore, he's a fighter, and so he just kind of holds him up and says, whispers to him, and then he just starts moving. And
yeah, it's very sweet. I actually didn't notice that until you just said that.
Yeah.
Love the Wiki Pares. He does it to me every time. Goosebumps. She gave them to me.
Whatever.
I have some audio.
Spingi! Di nuovo! Sì, brava!
Italian reference.
Did I miss it? Am I too late?
That's okay. There was a little joke there, but never mind. No, what are we on number 4?
I do love the.
Go ahead.
The image that Justin put in here of it's like mocking up a Zelda collection screen. Like you got a red font baby. You've collected red font.
I swear to God, something looked weird about that picture, and I didn't know what it was.
Yeah, it's as if you've collected
a towel.
It's as if you've collected a baby, like a new bottle. Now you can make in red font assassin.
Awesome.
And something else about babies being born. The audio that you played there. Every pregnant woman giving birth sounds like fucking. Like loud, angry fucking. And I always had a problem with that because when I watched this Star Trek Next Generation episode called Disaster from Season 5, Keiko gives birth to her baby. And I'm watching it like normal volume, and then my mom ends up walking in the room because she's like, "What are you watching?" Oh, it's someone's giving birth.
I'm walking in this room, and your dick better be in your hands and not in your pants.
I mean, the other way around. The other way around. And then she walks in, and Worf is spanking a baby. This scene happens, by the way.
Really?
Yeah.
I
will spank the child to induce breathing.
I want to see if you can tell me where that is in the DVDs. We'll capture a screen. I want Worf with his mouth open and his eyes closed, like about to hit a baby in like the most awkward position.
I can bring it in tomorrow, and we can get this screen on the TalkRadar landing page.
This could be great if we can actually remember this. It's very hard for me to remember things by the time we get to the end of this shit.
Number 4.
Number 4.
God, another one.
Fable 2.
Anyone play Fable 2?
This is kind of nice.
I played a little bit, but I never got to the point of actually parenting a child.
We should have had the Super Shredder babies.
And I think most of these are actually in order of which is the most perverse. Fuck, we should.
Yeah.
Sorry, Elson. No, somebody else talk.
No.
Please?
I've never played either of these.
Well, I mean, I know in Fable you have the option to wear a condom or not.
Yeah. Well, this was one of those promises that was made for the first table and not delivered on, and it's like you can raise kids, and you can they'll grow up from babies to adults, and you can raise them to be adventurers or whatever. I don't know, but that
I'm gonna flake out of this.
Yeah, that never happened in the first game. I know that in the second game, you can give birth. I think they'll grow up into kids, but I don't know if for sure if they make it past the baby stage. I haven't played that. So
maybe in Fable 3.
Ooh,
I can play as my own baby. Speaking of which, I just beat Red Dead Redemption.
In a Pikmin RTS game with your children.
And then you can have sex without a condom, and then... Yay. Let's go number 3. I'm tired.
Yeah.
Dante's Inferno, which this is fucking vile.
God, it kind of is, yeah. Cleopatra is like this gigantic sex demon, and basically, all these unbaptized baby souls with metal-clawed hands start swarming out of her nipples like bees from a hive.
Mm-hmm. And what's really gross is I looked closely and like the nipples open, and like a long time before the babies come out. It's like it's one of the more because they're like she has really floppy nipples at first, and then it's just this awful opening where babies crawl through her purple tits and make a noise a little something like this.
The shrieking
miracle
noise in the
of birth.
Pausing.
All right.
Yeah, I am a little annoyed that they included this, but not the first-person chest-burster birth from Aliens vs. Predator 2.
Oh, that would have been a clever one.
Yeah.
Aliens AVP 2?
Yeah.
Yeah. All right.
Yeah, when you start the Alien campaign, you start it inside a chest and bite your way out.
Michael, number 6 in the top 7 births is...
Number 6.
Alien vs. Predator 2.
Oh,
we have amended this. We can move on to number 2.
Number 2.
Family Guy.
Wow. I was like, this had to make a top 7 at some point because I don't think anybody will ever mention it again.
Right. I remember when it came out. It was actually here at Radar, but
even I yell about Bart versus the Space Mutants. But I think the audience was excited about playing that.
Right.
But I don't think the audience for Family Guy really like to their credit, they're savvy enough to know this is going to be terrible.
Right.
And didn't give a fuck.
Yeah, because I mean, when it came out, I think it came out in 2006, and I was definitely still like avidly watching Family Guy every week at that point. It had just started back up at being uncanceled from Fox at that point. And the game came out, and I'm not going to play that.
Yeah.
No, I went and actually saw the game demonstrated, and it's like, wow, this looks awful.
So what is the baby part of it?
The baby part is there's a level where you play as Stewie, and you're in a maternity ward, and you can jump on the stomachs of pregnant women and fire babies out of their spread eagle legs. This is for Family Guy fans only, but you can here's a little sound effect. Yes, they're using music from Ren and Stimpy. Workaday World.
Oh, God, I feel like I'm going to burst.
Jumping on her. Little Quagmire baby. That's the last one that comes out. Giggity.
Get it?
Get it? That was number 2. You think that's bad? Number 1. I need some background here, Michael. Holy fuck! House of the Dead Overkill?
I never got to this point in the game.
The end?
Again. No, I didn't play all the way through it, unfortunately. It was a pretty awesome game, though.
The whole game is perverse and over the top.
Yeah.
The ending is no different.
Just that screen they use is that's hella gross just to look at.
Yeah.
Yeah, the image alone is apparently it's Agent
Actually, if you read that whole first passage, it's pretty great. Could someone read that?
Well, it's like Clement, the main villain, ends up walking back into his mother's vagina, which is now a big swollen body with gray dead skin and limbs, and it looks to be about 30 feet tall, and it's just
a brain.
It's like a brain inside his dead body, and he has to go back up inside it. That's fucking bizarre.
Right,
but knowing what I know about the game, that sounds about right for the end of that game.
I want to undo all the wrongs I have done.
Oh my God.
I want to return to the womb. Please. Just this one last thing.
You fucking handle this freak show. I need to sit down.
Yeah. Who was that? Was it Washington?
Yeah, Agent Washington.
And I really want everybody to listen closely because this is the sound of a grown man walking into a 6-foot vagina.
I have a lot to atone for.
By returning to the womb?
That's right.
Soon as we're in a helicopter out of here, I'm chucking that thing out the fucking window.
Then I can die happy. Goodbye, boys.
It sounds like has anybody ever like taken a shower using only chili? Yum. That is exactly what it sounds like.
Oh, it's like fucking like finger fucking a cantaloupe or something.
Ugh. That is gross. That is gross. Hope our sponsors are pleased by this particular episode. Because that means we're going to go into break, and you're going to hear an interview I did with Harmonix, including the return of Casson Crook, otherwise known as the YouTube guy. Brought it up, the dancing YouTube guy from the E3 stage.
Oh, right. Yes.
And I asked, did you see any of the YouTubes of you? He's like, no, I can't watch this. Does not like being a internet celebrity.
And Guile's theme goes with everything. Is really good.
I know.
Dancing.
Yeah. What's his name in the room? The Guile's theme. He said it before I did.
I still have a video on a flip cam of you guys dancing. I never posted anywhere.
Oh yeah. Well, we have a website.
Oh, but it takes so long.
All right, we're gonna talk about some new releases, and we're gonna give away a game that might be involved in that conversation.
Yes.
A little bit of news and some testicles and some celebrities and game deals and hate and arguments. Man, this is gonna be fun. Stay tuned for more TalkRadar, brought to you by Archive Fantasia.
Hey, what's up? It's Tony Hawk. You were listening to TalkRadar at GamesRadar.com.
Arc-Rise Fantasia is a new turn-based RPG with a beautiful anime-inspired Japanese art style. Players will jump into the shoes of Lark, a calm and composed mercenary who sets out to defend the Meridian Empire from an impending invasion of ferocious creatures. After assembling a party of friends, each with a unique set of abilities, players will embark on a perilous journey across an overworld filled with deadly enemies and treacherous dungeons. While strategically queuing up attacks, players can summon mystical creatures and work with their party members to execute massive attacks. Arc-Rise Fantasia features deep gameplay, top-notch production values, and an unforgettable storyline. We owners who have been pining for a massive fantasy epic will definitely have their patience rewarded. Arc-Rise Fantasia out now for the Nintendo Wii.
Holy crap, did we have the whole Harmonix team in the room?
Everybody.
Oh my god,
I
yeah.
already clearly stated it's just the three of us.
This is the weird thing that's not coming up multiple times, and only the three of us make games. We are the entire team.
And really, it's only me and Casson, because Jake's real job is to play games and talk about them on the road.
And hang out with celebrities, yeah.
And then tell us kind of how people like the games we're making.
After we've shipped them, we can't change them.
Does anybody not like the games you're making?
Some people.
Some people?
Jerks.
I just wanted to compliment you. I don't hear it a lot. Rock Band Unplugged, probably my favorite game of the PSP ever.
Really?
Awesome. Love it. Love it.
Hooray. I like that game too.
Is there one coming to DS? I didn't.
Yeah. Rock Band 3 is coming to DS. We're
okay,
showing it later
Whisper.
today. No,
okay, it's announced and everything?
Yeah, we had it at E3. We had, I think, 20 songs playable, and
including Yes's Roundabout.
Which we actually we culled that out of our RB3 E3 build. And held it exclusive for the DS.
Oh wow!
Yeah.
Wait, did we introduce everybody yet?
No,
I don't think so.
Let's go in order.
I'm John Drake. I'm the manager of communications, which means I don't actually make these lovely games, but I do take all the credit. That's right.
And I think I saw you on the Today Show.
I've done the Today Show.
Today Show, rocking out with Al Roker.
Yeah, me and Al Roker are buddies.
Well, he has a line of cosmetics that are doing really well, so he's probably pitching those.
We also did hang out with Joan Rivers at QVC. Have you seen the QVC spot? I'll show that to you sometime.
And we have
Casson Crooker, project director. The lead on Dance Central.
Dance Central. I will come back to Casson. And who else?
My name is Daniel Sussman. I'm a project director. I'm the project lead for Rock Band 3. And Casson and I have been at Harmonix for a long time.
Yeah.
We both worked on frequency and amplitude and kind of all the good stuff. And
all the way up to now.
Yeah, that's beautiful. I wanted to ask Casson, like, what was your favorite YouTube video you started after the E3?
I didn't watch any of those.
Oh, you
didn't? The Guile theme
theme
song is the best one.
The Guile theme is beautiful.
I haven't become comfortable with my C-list internet memedom.
Oh, it's wonderful, isn't it?
I just lived vicariously through others.
I got one of those like backstage at the press conference. Someone like had already made one and forwarded it to me before we even left the press conference.
It was so fast. If anything at E3 someone can make into a song, boom, instantly.
I have to say, I'm jealous. You know, here I am, I'm like, oh, RB3 is the flagship of the harmonics, blah blah blah. But like, nobody cares about me on the internet.
We can get you dancing. I guarantee you, there'll be an animated GIF of you do something in half an hour.
Yeah, Casson invited us in. I danced with you.
Yeah.
Like, I had no idea I'd like Dance Central as much as I did, or Connect in general, but it became strangely, like, one of my favorite things on the show floor.
Cool.
Do you remember our incident?
Yes, we have. Yes,
we were.
Is there touching?
We were. Well, I don't know what happened, and I wanted to get clarification because I've told the story on our show before. We were dancing. We were dancing our ass off, having a great time with Poker Face, and then we hit freestyle mode, and we both just kind of busted out something, and then something happened. We kicked the remote, and everything in this. I don't know if I kicked you or hit you in the ass where your remote was, or because I can't imagine how you kicked yourself in the back pocket.
Yeah. Well, I don't know, but you know what's funny about that is that was like the same moment that all the power went off.
Yeah.
So clearly something about our freestyle in that song,
took out the power to the entire convention center.
Whole convention center.
Yeah. The whole grid of South Central LA.
Yeah, went down.
I believe
weird mystery. I mean, it was simultaneous. So.
Yeah, I absolutely loved Dance Central. I jumped back on it in Comic-Con, had a great time. And of course, I loved Rock Band 3. We already knew I was going to love that.
We've been making rock bands for a while.
I got to tell you, it's actually a little scary right now because I jumped on the piano.
Yeah.
What are we calling that?
The keyboard.
The keyboard, and I sucked. I was playing in the easy mode and right when I got it, right when everything came into swing.
Well,
I had to go.
You know, one of the things that it's really refreshing for me to come out with, to be able to present gameplay in the context of Rock Band, in the context of music games, that, all these hotshot Rock Band players who can sight read stuff on Expert now come in and they're getting their ass kicked on Medium, and I think I love that. I love that in the context of the genre, of the category, where there is a new experience out there for people to reconnect with music in an interesting way, and whether that's through the keyboard or all the stuff we're doing with Rock Band Pro, the idea that there's gameplay out there that I've been playing guitar games since 2005 and I'm awesome and I can beat Dragon Force on Expert and blah blah blah. It's like, all right, well here you're gonna want to try this on easy.
So it's partly about the game design and partly out of spite for the players. Yes. Is that what you're saying? Your enjoyment of it is a little bit in your face.
I just want to make sure that people don't get bored, and
to justify the 3
from a development standpoint, it's been really fun to have new, really interesting things, gnarly design problems to solve and present, and and I love that we were able to kind of play with all this stuff without having to touch the sort of the sanctity of the classic Rock Band party fun time social experience, and all of that is definitely in there. We would never. We have this funny message with Rock Band 3 where it's like, oh, there's all this stuff. You don't have to buy a new peripheral to play Rock Band 3.
But
here are the new peripherals that we're offering with Rock Band 3, and it's one of these funny things. But I love that we now have gameplay that pushes the boundary of kind of raises the ceiling in difficulty and just presents new challenges and new ways to interact with the music without having to rely on the content to do that, because there's only so many stupid hard songs out there, and some of that stuff is cool, and some of it just sounds like it's kind of math being applied to guitar.
We did the endless set list and we're caught on Green Grass and High Tides at about 4 in the morning for about 2 hours. It was a miserable I hear that song in bars now. No, can't have that.
Well, that makes me.
What about the guitar? The new with strings? I didn't get to play it.
Yeah, no, it's awesome. I mean, this is the sort of high watermark in the history of harmonics hardware development, where the peripherals that we're building. That we're doing a lot of the co-development with Mad Cats. We're working with Fender on this stuff, and all of it is. They're real instruments. The keyboard is a MIDI instrument. It's a MIDI controller Freeze Pop is taking our keyboard on tour with them when they do their thing in a couple of weeks. Yeah,
All
it's
right.
like it's a bona fide keyboard, right? You plug it into a computer and you make music with it. The Mustang is a MIDI guitar, and it's got a lot of buttons on it, and it drives the game really well. But you can also plug that into a computer and use it as a MIDI controller. And then the Fender Squire is, I mean, this is the funny thing is like, I've talked in interviews before about how terrible we are at naming things.
Yeah.
And for whatever reason, the name that has stuck around the pro guitar stuff is like, it's the real guitar.
It's the real guitar.
That's what it is.
It's a rock guitar.
And so, there's this phenomenal thing where you can play a video game with an instrument, and then, you can plug that instrument into an amplifier, do the thing that the game just taught you how to do, and now you're playing, Space Oddity by David Bowie.
We have traversed the uncanny valley of peripherals. We have ended up on the other side in real life.
But it's been really fun to work with Fender on this stuff.
Yeah.
Mad Catz has been like a great partner and sort of helping us actually figure out how to build all the stuff, and and then our guys, we have a great development team that's been working on the ID, the electronics design.
From like a community perspective, well, that'll probably open up the options on the network. Like,
we have that. The network, just like our sort of DLC stuff. It's very complicated, and there's a lot of content out there, and I'm sure that at some point we will be able to bring keyboards into the world of RBN, but the whens and hows of that are still being worked out, because that pipeline itself is that's a project, and it takes a lot of development muscle.
Right, we'll be talking more about that in the next couple of weeks. We're just trying to firm up all the details internally.
All right, we're getting waved off, but I did want to ask one last question, Casson, if you could pick up your mind. Is there? I know it's probably a stupid question, but is there any cohesion to be worked out with Dance Central and Rock Band? Is there any bridge there?
Viciously.
Yeah, man.
No bridge. They are super petty all the time between the two of them.
We each have we're in different buildings.
All right, no.
That's not true.
Peace, dignity. Let's do this. I want to play.
No, I would say that from my perspective, it's really nice to go back to being, a full-on two-team company where we have, it's refreshing for a lot of the people that are working on Rock Band to be able to go play another game that has a lot of the same kind of inherent qualities in terms of, it's this authentic dance experience. You're interacting with music. The technology is really cool, and it's different. And so I think being able to go focus test that game for a lot of the Rock Band guys is really fun. And I've seen it work the other way, too, where a lot of people who are working on the dance side of things, they come over and they're like, oh, this drop-in, drop-out stuff is really fun, and oh, the keyboard stuff is really fun, and, it's refreshing to have something that you're not kind of just sweating bullets on every day, and, to be able to kind of go in and get this sort of peripheral perspective on another project in development is really cool.
Anything to add, Dance Band?
Shake your booty.
Yeah. All right, guys. Thanks a lot. What are the dates? The release dates on this?
Rock Band 3, October 26th.
Dance Central,
November 4th.
Rock Band 3 DS.
Day and date with I presume October 26th. That's when we're shooting
October
for.
26th. Everything Rock Band 3.
DS, Wii, 360, and PS3.
That's right. And same thing for the keyboard and the Mustang. Those are all day and date.
Awesome. Thanks a lot, guys.
TalkRadar, bitches.
All of a sudden, I could feel 100% evil come over me.
I'm going to GamesRadar.com, the official website of the internet.
Can you dig it?
Man, TalkRadar. What is it? Segment 2.
113. Now we're just into silly numbers.
I know.
Doesn't even mean anything anymore.
And we're also presented by Arkwright's Fantasia.
Oh,
but yes, I'm so sad Scott's not here. You know what we opened the podcast with?
What?
Bloodsport.
Oh, we did see movies.
Our incredibly manly.
I did. God, that was
no holds barred. Absolutely wonderful.
Amazing film.
It was a 5-movie feature of Nighthawks. starring Sylvester Stallone, Billy D. Williams, and the U.S. debut of Rutger Hauer. And bookended with Sylvester Stallone cross-dressing, fantastic. Bloodsport, which I've never seen, and is amazing.
I saw it as a kid a lot, so I didn't see it.
Apparently people saw it a lot.
Yeah.
Where?
VHS.
TV. And then Big Trouble in Little China.
Awesome.
Amazing.
Totally.
They Live, one of my favorite movies of all time. And, oh my god, No Holds Barred.
Movie, like, at the height of... Not at the height, but, like, very, very much...
It was their first peak.
Very much during the WWF, like, Hulk Hogan, Hulkamania, stuff, like, really going crazy, and then they wanted to branch out into movies, and then that movie was supposed to be like the first thing of a new wave of these wrestling stars having a vehicle to go into theaters, and it was awful. And the movie,
it's fantastic.
I saw it as a kid twice in the theater because that's how big like Hulk Hogan name was just was, and it was amazing to see it in a theater again, than a print if that even exists, and
it's not on DVD.
It's not on DVD,
which is because the only reason
it's embarrassing.
Is because it's embarrassing.
Has
that ever kept wrestling from releasing anything?
Yeah.
Everything they did last week is humiliating.
This is like a special kind of like. It's clearly a stab from WWE, WWF poking like Ted Turner's got too much money and he's gonna make wrestling stars out of goofballs for WCW. Boo hoo! And then I'm gonna turn into the exact same thing I made fun of.
Yeah, it doesn't come across. It comes across like it hates wrestling fans.
Yeah, it hates the business. It's about wrestling. Like what is like. The thing with Hulk, like, he's incorruptible.
Excuse me.
He's not Hulk in the movie, he's Rip. Rip him.
What was the line? We want you to wrestle for our network. I'm really more interested in my charity work.
My charity work? And he shows up everywhere with, like, these ridiculous outfit and laced boots up to his knees, just having some dinner.
Was that Charlie who pointed that out? That he's in a scene, and then he's in a scene in some black and red spandex.
Oh, yeah.
Anything but the red and yellow you associate Hulk Hogan with.
Yeah.
And his brother is hurt.
Oh, yeah.
His brother is damaged somehow, and his brother's Jacob from Lost.
His brother is Jacob from Lost.
It doesn't really talk. He just cries, points, and look! and does that kind of stuff. And then, boom, next scene at the hospital in a different color scheme of spandex. He stopped to get corresponding spandex and a skull cap.
Wow.
Amazing.
Oh, man, I don't know how...
Basically, he's just playing his character from Hulk Hogan's Rock and Wrestling is what I'm hearing.
Yes.
Kind of.
Yes, better, though. Just Tiny Lister, Zeus. Yeah, give it to me. From Dark Knight, from Friday, Devo.
Whatever means you can do to watch No Holds Barred, it's amazing. It's fantastic.
Short of paying $200 for the VHS.
I know, still. Unbelievable. I just... Wow. Wrestling not selling something?
God, I know, that's what's really strange.
They were completely behind that fantastic documentary Beyond the Mat.
Yeah.
Which is, I don't know, sort of bad for them. It makes them look very bad.
Yeah.
Anyway, wow, how do we get into that?
Because it's just that, and if you haven't seen Big Trouble in Little China somehow, it's the best video game movie ever made before they were making video game movies.
Yeah.
Like,
that'll do.
It's wonderful.
It's what video game movies should aim for.
Well, I get kind of the same feeling when I watch the first Mortal Kombat movie, but not entirely the same because it was born as a thing to make money off of a product.
Yeah.
But it still is that like no one's taking it entirely seriously, but it still feels
it's fun, and you still need a big boss.
Yeah, there's a very clear setup to it. Like Mortal Kombat, I find the most watchable of all video game movies because at least it doesn't try to do anything beyond the game. It's like, no, we got these characters in this environment. Let's just do this.
What is, Michael, the most watchable game movie, you think?
Mortal Kombat, followed by probably either Dead or Alive and Tomb Raiders. The Resident Evil movies aren't that bad either.
I just always said...
Dead or Alive is a fantastically underrated film. It is fun and stupid, and basically like Charlie's Angels meets Dead or Alive, and the villain is Eric Roberts, and his secret super weapon is a pair of glasses that makes you good at karate. And they have to stop him before he sells it on the open black market.
I thought you were going to say on eBay to Shia LaBeouf and Transformers.
God damn it.
You would think.
I do I like Mortal Kombat Annihilation for the exact opposite reason, that it's the worst thing. And it's so...
It is very entertaining.
Immensely enjoyable because of, like, how did you go from this reasonably restrained movie in 1995 to what the fuck in 1997.
Yeah, it's a horrible movie, but it's so balls out weird.
Yes,
and
yeah,
non-stop.
And the dialogue, the casting, everything is terrible. The only thing good about it is the soundtrack, which is fucking awesome.
It's like some sort of insane Bollywood movie with a budget and more explosions.
That's all it's missing is
fewer musical numbers.
Yeah, that's all it's missing is them breaking out into song.
Gonna
go into Outworld.
Although, yes, the Big Trouble in Little China thing reminded me, if you want to see a good video game movie from before there were really even video games, and you like the John Carpenter-Kurt Russell pairing, go see Escape from New York.
Of course.
Because that is not just the template from which video game movies should be made, that is the template from which several video games were made.
I was asking somebody about that. Kojima has some blessing from Carpenter, because there's so much of Pliskin in Solid.
Yeah. And not only that, but there are elements from Escape from New York that were practically ripped off for Metal Gear, like some of the stealth and.
But Carpenter's sort of behind that, right?
I hope so.
I
don't know for sure.
We were just looking at it the way he swings from things, just down to small details in the way Pliskin moves, Snake mirrors. In his games, I don't know. I love that. I love John Carpenter. It took me a while to get John Carpenter, and when I did, life became so much better.
Yep.
Except for his new stuff.
Around Mouth of Madness, I just kind of.
I've heard good things about, but They Live.
They Live was great.
They Live is fantastic.
That's a movie I'd never seen all the way through.
They Live is like a short story you'd read and have your mind blown if you were an 8th grader.
Oh yeah. It's all around us, man.
Yeah, all happened
or a
the
short
whole time.
story you would write if you were an 8th grader.
Yes. But it's not like it was. That's the story. He hated what happened on Big Trouble in Little China, so he went. I don't want to be involved in a studio at all. Made this incredibly low budget movie, and it never occurs to you for a second that it's a low budget movie.
Yeah.
Because everybody's homeless.
Yeah.
Everybody's homeless.
Yeah, you just can't imagine that there is a budget.
So then who I can't remember who released the movie then. If he did.
I think maybe Universal released the movie.
Was
but
it New Line?
It's still a Live Productions, which he started because he didn't want to work with any of the studio. Video games.
This is all related. Everyone who hasn't seen these movies, just go watch them. They're so relevant to what you like.
Right back to video games. New releases. One. So frustrating. I know StarCraft's out. And
so many games died in May just so August could be barren.
I know.
I got Castlevania Hovd.
It's Castlevania something of the something.
Yeah.
It's Harmony of Despair, which I'm bothered by because there was already a Harmony of Dissonance for GBA, and it's like, really, you couldn't even come up with another H word?
Order of Ecclesias. Circle of the Moon.
It has to be HD.
I know, but there's more words for the H. Holocaust.
Just like Dawn of Sorrow was DS.
I know, but any words could do that.
Let's think up Castlevania names.
And Portrait of Ruin was PR.
There's already a Castlevania name generator.
There is?
Yeah.
What is it? Can anybody see it?
The Castlevania name generator?
Yes,
yeah,
I really want to look that up.
I can call it up here on my internet.
Constipation of Tomorrow. Castlevania. Not funny. I get it.
Here we go. Castlevania name generator. And I was also bothered by Curse of Darkness because there was already a Legacy of Darkness, and then they.
Because Curse of Darkness wasn't that the sequel to Legacy of Darkness?
No, Curse of Darkness was a sequel to Castlevania 3.
Right,
Legacy of Darkness was a sequel to Castlevania 64.
Don't worry, listeners. I'm confused too.
I know my Castlevania. Holy shit!
I got it confused with Lament of Innocence.
Oh,
Lament of Innocence is chronologically the first game in the series. Everybody
didn't used to be
starring Leon Belmont. Anyway, this one
Wings of a Dove.
Wings of a Dove. Well, apparently the name generator was broken because it doesn't work anymore. Anyway, funny things that happen.
Well, somebody said Castlevania third opus of Soggy Fries. So
sure.
Yeah, the one that everybody used to link to is actually gone.
Winner.
Wow. Well, anyway, the one that came out this week is not the game that I've wanted. That anyone who's enjoyed the DS Castlevanias and the Symphony of the Night style kind of Castlevanias, what I've wanted forever was a gorgeous HD 2D, like the most lavish sprites and some really pretty shit, and make this like real good send off to 2D Castlevania games, because Symphony of the Night did shake it up, and even though it was more like Castlevania 2 in the first place, but whatever, it really made it a cool idea to run around in this castle, find new power ups, re explore old areas. But then they did it 6 times across GBA and DS, and it's like, they're all fun. They're never not fun, but they're never exciting anymore. So this one, when they announced it, Harmony of Despair, and it's going to be, we're going to pull heroes from all the others, Symphony of the Night, Portrait of Ruin, Order of Ecclesia, Dawn of Sorrow. We're going to pull all these heroes and put them all in one game. Symphony of the Night.
Fall of Man?
Fall of Men.
No.
And we're going to put them in one game, and they're all going to be fighting together because of some timeline thing. It's like, okay, sounds cool. And it's going to be a 6-player, online-only dungeon crawler full of grindy levels with bosses that kill you, and you have to keep replaying levels to get new power-ups and power up your things, and then there's only 6 levels, so even if you're playing with...
That makes it sound more like a weird kind of brawler than...
It's just a bizarre-ass game, and I reviewed it for us and for OXM, and it's like, if you like Castlevania a lot, you'll probably still like it, even though it's still recycled sprites from like 8 years ago.
Is it really?
Yeah, they're all the same. Like, they've all been up-res and they look really good, but they're still like, no, I've seen that enemy 100 times.
Have
already.
The bars on the side to maintain?
No. It's full like HD, and it looks great. And the animation is all fantastic. All the characters move with like this grace and like so many frames of animation. It looks really nice, but it's not. They didn't redraw like new sprites for people, and it's just the gameplay that's so annoying. Like, if you're playing by yourself, you literally have to die over and over and over again just to get strong enough to face the boss at the end. And you can see the map at the entire time, which part of Castlevania was exploring that map, and now it's just all there. There it is. There's the boss. Go get him. And then you just work your way up to him, probably die before you get there, and you can share treasure and get money to buy weapons to go back into a dungeon. It's a very crawly...
Oh, that all sounds kind of cool.
The thing is, it's not bad if you're playing in a group at all. Like, I played 2-player with Fran, and then I played 2-player with Carolyn, and then when you get 3 and 4 people in there, this actually starts to take
Try playing with a man.
You get a little bit of strategy.
Maybe that changed.
Maybe that was
changed your
why.
mind.
That's what it was. And you can actually develop some serious strategies for, like, I'm going to go up here and flip this switch so you can get in this door, and you stand on this to take this fire away so I can come through here. Okay, I'm going to go up here and hit this lever on a hammer that's the size of the level that's going to swing down and hit the boss who's 400...
So is this primarily on boss fights? Like
the whole game is just leading up to a boss fight of each... I mean, you can see the boss on the map, and it's just about getting to him and being strong enough to beat him.
And is there any story whatsoever?
The story is from across time.
So it's the story of Castlevania Judgment, basically.
It is really similar to Judgment, and it's Igarashi,
which was great. Any breast obsessing?
No, but it's like it really doesn't feel like all the characters are balanced well, because like Shinoa, who was from Order of Ecclesia and can summon glyph magic, and Charlotte from Portrait of Ruin, can capture spells in her book. They seem really at a disadvantage to me because it was harder to power them up than it was like Jonathan, who can just grab a fucking dagger or a cross or an axe, or Soma Cruz, who if you played either of the Aria of Sorrow or Dawn of Sorrow, he just absorbs souls and gets stronger that way and can use monsters to fight for him, and they can power up really easily. And it was just like, well, we're going to play as Jonathan and Soma Cruz and just tear ass through this thing. And even with 3 players, it starts to get like almost easy again. It's just really weird. Like, it's meant to be played with multiplayer, but if you play with all 6 people, or even 4 or 5, like, you're going to really get through it pretty quick. And it's like $15. It's just really hard to recommend because it...
15.
You need friends who love Castlevania to play it. And I mean, I know those DS games in and out, and it's really difficult.
Well, I mean, I was going to say it's harder for me to grab my older friends on Xbox Live, but Castlevania is something that appeals to older people.
But it's like, it's nothing like any of them, and that's why it's just so bizarre.
And it's online only, right? You can't just like hook up 4 controllers.
No, you can't do split screen at all. Which is really strange.
Wouldn't even think you'd have to do split screen with the zoom.
Well, yeah, that zoom lets you zoom out, but I mean, when you do the full zoom out, there's like, they've said there's like a million pixels on the screen at one point because of how, like, and it's really, like, it's serious eye strain if you zoom it all the way out and try to play it like that.
1 million pixels.
One absolutely no control.
Wow. Wow. Wish I had, God, where are my sound effects?
I know.
Plotting his own game. Anyway.
But it is, like, there was still a part of me that was enjoying myself just in a very... In that dungeon crawler kind of way where there's just something inherently fun about building up a bunch of stats.
Tell me, I'm playing Puzzle Quest right now, and I don't know why. I'm level 38, and I can't stop.
Wow. It's such a bizarre game. But in a piece of fortuitous news, you could get a free copy of Castlevania Harmony of Despair. I have 1 extra code to give away.
Do we want to tell them how to do that, or you want to tell them what you scored it?
I gave it a 7.
A 7.
And that's not a safe 7. I really thought about this, because I don't like handing out 7s, specifically because there's that taboo that goes across with 7.
That we kind of invented.
That we maybe invented for 7 out of 10 week, but it's averaging a 68, so that's kind of, everyone's kind of falling in the same area. The lowest was Eurogamer, give it a 4.
Eurogamer?
Yeah.
I forgot. They don't need to play Castlevania games because they lived it.
The highest, looks like Wired gave it an 8, and IGN was a 7.5, GameSpot a 7.5. It's just a very difficult game to get. It's also not good at explaining itself to you. It just goes, here you go, here's a game. What? Why am I dying? And if you pause the game, it doesn't stop. The game keeps moving while you pause it. Because there's...
Are you sure? Only if you're online?
No. Anyway. Single player or multiplayer. Because there's a timer. You can only be in a dungeon for 30 minutes at a time. So one way or the other, you have to be out of there in 30 minutes. And it never took me more than 30 minutes to either beat the boss or be killed by the boss. So why that time limit's there is such a bizarre and artificial thing. Because all it means is now I can't pause the game.
No, it means you can't level up appropriately the first time.
Yeah, it's just, I guess that's why they don't want you to... Well, when you kill an enemy, they're dead forever in that map, so you can actually clean the entire map out, and all that's left is the boss. It's really cool, and there's with people you can explore, and you can see different parts of the map, access different parts of the map that you couldn't. It's just, by yourself, fucking awful experience.
Alright, you hear that, Spicules? If you want to play, I'm interested.
But,
I know.
If you want to try it and don't want to pay for it, I have a free code. Or if you've already bought it and want a friend to jump in with you, and they're like, "No, I'm not paying $50." All you got to do to win this free code is PM me with the Games Radar message. Oh dear,
still looping.
Message me with the Games Radar messaging system. Where you can make your list of games you like and games you beat, like, love, all that shit. Not the forum PM, which probably wasn't a problem anymore, since they're not on the homepage, on the nav. That's fun. Message me, Games Radar, Brett Elston, that's the username. The question is, first one to PM me with the correct answer gets the code, is Alucard, Symphony of the Night, everybody.
Never heard of it.
That's the one. What? That's the one that people would be the most familiar with. What is the name of the spell that you can cast as Alucard that gives you life back when something bleeds on you?
Patronus.
No. First one to tell me that gets the code.
Wingardium Leviosa?
Well, you get it. There you go.
Yay!
When something bleeds on you, there's a spell that you cast, and you get your life back.
Nose Devil.
Nose Devil.
Nose Devil.
Is that the only new release this week?
Go ahead, take a look at the new releases. Remember I was telling you, I looked up the new releases, and, on the front page of Amazon, which is normally packed with old shit and re-releases, is a pair of Mad Catz Sonic the Hedgehog socks. That is a new game release, according to Amazon, and they love to sell you shit. So, I mean, there was something out. It would be there.
Yeah, I think it's just a totally dead week for new releases.
Yeah, I saw Chuck E. Cheese party thing. Desperation is there again.
Chuck E. Cheese
Desperation Party.
Desperation Party.
You know why Chuck E. Cheese is cool now?
Why?
Desperation. His hat's backwards.
Oh,
all it took.
That's stupid.
All it took.
That stupid rat.
It was 15 years too late. You turned that shit around, took off the red.
I noticed
couldn't just stick with the bowler.
Exactly.
I noticed even up until I'm guessing today, they still advertised him interacting with kids in a Roger Rabbit fashion, where he's been animated over into a real world scenario. Yeah. But he's still wearing 90s colors and inline skates,
purple and chartreuse,
purple and fucking periwinkle and green.
It's you do have to update your character design at some point.
Well, the early 90s were 20 years ago.
But we already updated them once. You're fired. Right? You're all fired.
You don't got to update Mickey Mouse every 10 years.
You're all fired. Did you update the burlesque chicken? No, she's still in fucking fishnets. And it's offensive to me when I bring my kids in there.
Burlesque chicken.
Burlesque chicken, yes. And you still have that fucking purple pedophile creature. I don't know what he's... Munch. His name is Munch.
One-eyed, one-horn...
Flying
purple pedophile
creature,
purple penis eater. New releases, nothing. I was all I had is a little. I didn't have a lot of time to look at news stories this week, which is unfortunate. Did anybody hear any good news this week? Before I go into what's basically an EA roundhouse.
Go for it. Go for your
EA
nothing.
Roundhouse.
Only if it's an EA roundhouse kick.
No. I meant roundhouses in the old Snick show. We're just going to dance and sing about it with teenagers.
Oh my God, really?
EA, they silently announced Need for Speed Shift 2, which I know I'm the only person. Look, everybody's looking down right now. Nobody,
I was looking through news.
Nobody cares. I loved Shift, and I didn't like Hot Pursuit, but apparently I'm weird because I came back from playing Hot Pursuit. People who didn't play with me, and I played with a bunch of journalists and professionals. 8-player, multiplayer, LAN.
As it was intended.
Okay, I can say it in the podcast. It was terrible. It was terrible because nobody knew what they were doing, and I actually don't, I sort of learned from doing this. You guys, as weather journalists, don't like reviewing or previewing every Need for Speed game that comes out.
Well,
so they haven't
not
played.
Interested in
they haven't played a Need for Speed game in a long time. So I'm looking like, this guy's stuck in a ditch. This guy's like can't figure out. He thinks the emergency brake is to accelerate, and and so I bested everybody. And you're supposed to get away, and I got away, and no one could figure out how to chase me. So I was bored out of my fucking tit, and
your one tit.
Yes, and I couldn't. I didn't know what to do, and then from another angle, online racers. Again, I know you guys don't care, but like, it tends to breed bullies, and they're never very balanced. And I don't know, online. I've never had a great time with an online racer, and I really want to. I love racing games. But Shift was awesome. Mid-race milestones. You'd actually taught you to be a better driver. All these weird concussion elements, like you are the driver. Your head reacts if you hit a wall. Like your head hits the door, and ow! Everything goes black and white. Cool shit, glad to hear it, but that also came in line with the delay for Crysis 2.
Yeah.
Which is a little sad for people who like Crysis 1. I haven't
I think that's a smart move on their part, considering what they're going up against: Medal of Honor, Call of Duty, Halo Reach. Like that's 3 huge shooters.
But they took it out of Modern Warfare's or Medal of Honor's quarter, but they put it right next to Bulletstorm. Which isn't like their game.
That's going to be a pretty different experience.
You think so?
Bulletstorm's third person, isn't it?
I still think they're meant to appeal to the exact same audience. And from the same company coming out in the same week, we were just talking about like Singularity and Wolfenstein and all this shit Activision sent to fucking die.
Yeah, it's true.
Because certain things got delayed. Just worried about that because they both look like really cool games.
I keep getting confused about Bulletstorm, only because I haven't seen it. I've only
seen
screens, so that's my problem. Charlie's seen a lot of it. I'm interested in Bulletstorm a little, but the characters just seem so irritating. I don't want to play an entire game with some guy fucking snapping one-liners.
Hey, looks like I flopped the nuts.
You got
kick,
spike-faced. Lol. God, and the same guy who does every.
That's what you get for sticking your neck out.
No, that's not a way to get ahead in life.
Perfect.
Mm-hmm. And I did see another EA story that it was like, no, NBA Jam rated and announced for 360 and PS3. Yay!
Right.
Only if you buy NBA Elite 11 for $60. It comes with a download code. I have to buy one of those NBA games I've been ignoring for years.
They will put that out for regular purchase at some point.
I'm sure they will. But what the weird thing I did think of is that the download voucher that comes with an NBA Elite is going to become a highly coveted eBay item.
Yeah, probably.
And I don't know. I just really want to play the new NBA Jam, and I don't really want to do it on my Wii.
Oh yeah, there is that problem.
Because they claim it's been optimized, but like, and in this one even on XBLA and PSN is a lesser version. Oh my goodness!
I gotta say, like, yeah, if it's a multiplayer-minded experience, which is what NBA Jam is, I don't want to play that on my Wii. And I know NBA Jam back in the day when we played it, it was the same screen with 2 controllers hooked up to the same machine. But it's not 1993. You've got to realize that you need a good online strategy. And just because we played games as kids in the same room does not mean we want to do that anymore. If I said, who wants to play NBA Jam tonight? Both of you might say, okay, thinking, we'll go home, we'll get on live, and we'll all get on headsets and we'll play together.
Sure.
Nintendo would hear that and think, no, you should all sit down at the TV together. We do not have time to fucking go to each otherher's houses and do this
all
shit.
live in the same 1,800-story apartment, right? No, we don't.
1,800 story.
No, we don't.
We all commute together on the train every morning.
The mega train.
Yeah. Well, actually, kind of a funny thing. I had my way of thinking shifted ever so slightly when a neighbor of mine, I found out, has been having these like video game nights for a while where he just invites a handful of people over to his house, and he invited me. And so I went, and we're kind of like, he doesn't have very many games, and so everybody's kind of brought over a couple games, and I said, well, do you guys want me to bring over anything? I've got a pretty good collection. And they're like, well, do you have anything that's 4-player? I'm like, I have no idea. So I go, and I spend the next 10, 15 minutes scouring through my collection, looking at all these box backs, thinking like, okay, what 4-player? It's like, MotorStorm's 1 to 12 player. Is that online or single system? I don't know. I'm going to throw it on the pile. But I came out with like maybe 5 or 6 games that have 4-player single
Trivial
system.
Pursuit.
No.
You remember what they were?
Like, a couple Call of Duties.
Hasbro Party Night.
Modern Warfare 2 and World at War. Halo 3. I don't remember.
This guy,
most of the
if he's
others.
having a serious game night, we would have game nights with Halo, and we'd bring over multiple televisions.
Yeah, that's true.
And
yeah.
Xboxes.
This is more of a casual game night, although we did end up playing a whole shit ton of N+, which it turns out is 4-player.
N+ is awesome.
It is.
Yeah, that's really good.
Yeah.
God damn it. That's it? Somebody give me some. What'd you read this week?
There was
What
some
came
news
out?
I thought was interesting.
You guys all get the fucking the big press releases in your inbox.
I read all 6 volumes of Scott Pilgrim in preparation for something next week.
Mm-hmm.
We played a little bit of Scott Pilgrim in the office, and that was pretty awesome.
Yeah, it was pretty great.
Yeah.
We could have leaked it onto like some fucking blog and given them an exclusive.
It'll be a new release next week, but the Killers and Legends, or Legends and Killers, I think, DLC for Red Dead.
You
We
played
went
that,
and
right?
Played that, yeah. Me and Brett and Charlie all went and played.
Fucking assholes.
Oh yeah,
I had to go see Mystery Science Theater 3000 live, and then I came home immediately and finished Red Dead, and I was like, I wish I was with those guys.
Well, it's 9 new maps, 8 new characters, and tomahawks.
The
Which
tomahawks
are pretty
I thought
fun
were
to throw around.
Really fun. I have to say I hate the shootout multiplayer where it's just dudes shooting each other.
That's just the multiplayer.
I know, but
that was there in the first place.
I know, yeah, I know that was already there, but like this is the first time I actually played it, and I'm like, I hate it. Like the game was, the controls they were not meant to be a group shooter, but when you add goals, like the Gold Rush thing was fun. And also, like, there was a level that was outside at night, and all I did was sneak around this big hill with tomahawks, crouched and slowly walking around. And I got so good with them by the end of the night, I would, like, bank a tomahawk in the air to go over a rock and hit a guy, like, across the rock, like, across from me. Like one of those crazy YouTube videos where I can't even see him, but I'm like, I bet this works. Fucking see my point value go up. Yes.
Why? Just because you auto-targeted him?
No, well, because he was too far away. Like, I could auto-target to lock in, but the tomahawks have to be... They're not like a bullet, so you have to, like, angle them, because they have weight and gravity will make it fall, obviously, because you're throwing the thing. So you have to, like... I threw one, missed. I'm going to have to change this trajectory, and then I angled up really high, threw it, and then I watch it, and it hit him, and it was really cool.
Amazing.
So that was really cool, playing with these tomahawks. I don't know how different they are from the throwing knives, because I haven't played the multiplayer. So.
I think they're heavier. I think there's probably more of an
arc?
faster decaying arc.
Ooh.
But I haven't really played around enough with the throwing knives to know for sure.
It was interesting, as long as you weren't doing just plain shootout. We're going to be playing it for the 24-hour marathon.
Oh! August 20th?
August 20th into the 21st. So
Friday at 5 p.m. I'll post a link on the TalkRadar page where we're playing a bunch of different games, including Red Dead Redemption. And it looks like I put a poll on the page to see how many people are buying it. It seemed an overwhelming majority are going to buy the DLC.
Well, that's good.
Oh, no. And
this is there was news... slight news story that I thought might be a good talking point if we want to get into it.
You do it, and then I'm going to use the segue from Red Dead into the thing I have.
Okay.
But I want you to do this, and we're going to go back in time. Here we go. This is the future. Elston's. Go ahead. What are we talking about?
The new web series Game Theory.
Oh, no. I meant to... Like, I was going to ask if I should grab clips of this, because I could have.
Oh, really?
I just didn't know if it was appropriate.
I only think it was... I mean, it's Scott Steinberg and...
Is he a sacred fucking cow in this industry?
Why are we paying so much attention to this again?
No. It's just... I only liked it because I read a couple of interesting excerpts. It's a video series called Game Theory from Scott Steinberg and Michael Pachter's, and it's basically just a bunch of analysts going derp-a-derp-a-derp. But it also has some quotes and interviews with people who actually make games. And there was just a couple of cool points, like the whole idea about... I can't remember if it was Naughty Dog or who it was that was saying it, but the thing about when games were $60 each, $70 each on cartridges, and they were extremely expensive, and then when games went to CD, instead of paying $20 a pop to Nintendo and Sega to make a cartridge, they could just pay $2 for a CD and make it. And then the budget for the game was $1 million, and they'd say sell 9 million copies of $1 million game on a $2 CD, and they make a shitload of money, and that was like gravy for them. It was just fucking salad days. It was so good for them. And then now a game costs $50 million, $80 million, or in StarCraft 2's case, $100 million to make this game, and it's still delivered on a medium that costs $2 to $10 to manufacture this disc, and they're still selling the same amount. So it's like the industry is going to like eat itself alive if it doesn't stop with this blockbuster mentality. They've got to think diversify and not big all the time.
And
I thought that was an interesting. That was interesting. You can't spend this much money and this much 4 years to make a game. Then that game better sell 10 million copies if you're going to spend that much money on it.
I will say it did raise some really interesting points, but then certain parts of it were so insufferably smug.
Yes, they are definitely full of themselves.
Chris, can you cue that up on YouTube?
Off and going to the other side of the planet. That's not seismic. That's like God playing with the continents.
Think they've got it rough? Then you haven't seen corporate giants' latest sales reports. But the time for sympathy is over. Months ago, we warned the industry that the market couldn't sustain so many high-priced games and epic outings for stationary devices. Genius? Hardly. Try common sense. Jacking up production costs while limiting potential sales? That just doesn't compute. So what's the malfunction?
They told us? Isn't this their first episode?
Yeah.
Well, they both. Scott Steinberg talks a lot and
pulls no punches.
His, why can't I think of the goddamn word? He's very self-promoting. Like everything he says is, "Well, I'm the foremost authority. I've interviewed 1 billion people," and like he just is. Sure, he's a perfectly fine human being, I'm sure, but like it's just really overbearing with his level of supposed knowledge.
I have to print screen the picture I have right when you're talking about this, and then show you guys. Brett, say that again.
Oh God! By the way, would you like me to tell you what I think?
Such a supermodel pose.
Yeah, he's doing a little blue steel.
And at what point do we finally get back
And
to
I set my computer down a little rough, and that caused a YouTube video to play. That's very weird.
But I don't know, Michael. What was your beef with that specific statement?
Well, number one, it was like months ago. The time for sympathy is over. First off, months ago we told the industry this. Genius. No, it's just try common sense.
That reminds me so much of the Mr. Show thing where...
Aren't you listening?
Where it was like... Where the thing about the fetus... the fetus beauty show where they take pictures of fetuses and then draw...
This guy is literally a pioneer.
A pioneer. Yeah, there's a guy interviewing him, and the guy being interviewed is David Cross, and he goes, "Am I a pioneer?" The guy off camera goes, "I didn't ask that." Like that's literally what this is equivalent to.
Yeah.
Where it's like, genius? No one asked that. No one said that, sir.
Nobody said that.
Nobody thought.
Try common sense. Then why are you being paid if it's common sense?
I just thought it was odd that I got a press release for this. Like, I don't think anybody else in this industry is aware that I exist or what I do.
Listen, you multi-million-dollar corporations, why didn't you do what I told you to do months ago?
Yeah.
Me. So that like very personal, I'm so smart. Do you know how good my hindsight is? It's flawless.
Eric swears up and down that's not how he is really, but it's like that. Just even presenting yourself that way, it really rubs me the wrong way.
Yeah, I'm sure he does not go home and fix dinner with that kind of attitude. No. I'm certain of that.
I'm sure, like if we met him at an event, he'd be a perfectly nice guy.
Yeah, it's just like when you present things with such pretentious
pomposity.
Yeah, pomposity. Yes, that's the word.
Mr. Steinberg, a little humility.
But I think that also.
Maybe.
That also came, the same thing that came from that was that interesting point about,
What? Say it. Do it. What? Gotta know. Tell me now.
Something else.
What is
I'll put a clock on. I'll make Mario cry.
It might have been the thing I already said. I don't remember. Oh, yeah, here it is. It's in our article, I wonder what you guys think about this. This is a hot topic that they're always talking about.
I love Hot Topic. Invader Zim shirts.
Oh, man.
Invader Zim shirts are 3 weeks ago, man.
They have the best Mario shirts.
You got to get with this ironic Zelda shirt.
Yeah,
that I'm not sure who is it.
It's pretty faded. It looks like I actually wore it when the game came out so many years ago. Oh, my God. I can't really like this for real.
Should I wear that or my Twilight shirt?
That's what I don't get, because like when you're a teenager, you do not want to do anything your parents like.
Mm-hmm.
But your parents, a lot of the kids now, there's a chance their parents liked games.
I don't think so.
So I wonder if there's a backlash against games from a bunch of teenagers who are like, fucking video games, so...
It's sort of how you bond with your parents. Like, I'm sure, like, you and your...
There's a difference.
You were a little kid when Top Gun came out, and maybe Top Gun appealed to the little kid in you, but your dad also dug it.
Yeah.
And, like, say Good, the Bad, and the Ugly. Like,
yeah.
Your dad dug Good, the Bad, and the Ugly, and you're like, I dig this, too. I dig it more because I can dig it with my dad.
I wonder if Hot Topic had existed in the 80s if they would have sold, like, our poodle skirts and Elvis t-shirts.
Jesus Christ.
All in the family trading card.
Fucking, oh, God, Sanford and Son. I couldn't think of the Marvel cap things.
Woodstock bullshit.
Oh, God. But
hippie-abilia.
The point in this, another video from Michael Pachter, who is another guy who talks a lot, this thing that keeps coming up about, you buy a $60 game once, you play the single player for 10 hours, anywhere from 8 to 60 hours.
Sure.
And then you play the multiplayer for the next 300 hours, and they never get another dime from you.
Yes.
And they're like, oh my God, we should be capitalizing on this because they're playing this game forever.
We brought that up in our multiplayer article.
Yeah, but not on...
But most companies build their multiplayer as if they don't want to spend the money on keeping you... It costs money to keep people playing the multiplayer.
Yeah.
That's supposedly what your live subscription covers.
Right,
Xbox Live handles the server.
That doesn't explain PSN is free. And
well, sort of. It's becoming less free. I mean, there's a premium service.
I know there's a
now
premium service
for
now,
a reason,
if I
because
want to go play
the
Modern
free
Warfare
one didn't
now.
work for anybody.
Right. It just
didn't work for developers. Excuse me. The developers don't prefer the free service because that puts everything on their end.
But it used to be like 10, 20 years ago, you'd play a game and then you'd beat it, and then that's kind of it. There was nothing left to do with it. Maybe you could just like search for things to break in it, or like just really 100% whatever there was. I mean, then again, a lot of games back then where you pay $50 for, and when you beat it, that is it. That was it.
Yeah. Well, like reading old Nintendo Powers, it's like there was a letter to the editor talking about somebody's son who played Legend of Zelda every weekend for months and like almost got to the end, and then their little brother erased the save accidentally, so they had to start again. And in one day, they'd gotten to it, and like one called to a game counselor later, and they had beaten the game, and then he tried again, and it took him 42 minutes the next time.
Yeah.
So it's like there was that whole thing of like, I'm going to play through this again, see how long it takes.
Yeah.
I'm going to try to get a high score.
I was looking up levels from the original Ninja Turtles. I saw the Technodrome. Like, I saw that once in my entire life, personally. Like, I never was able to get there. I did not have the time.
It was so difficult, and like fighting the giant mouser at the end of that level just always kicked my ass.
But I kept playing, even though like I don't have the time to get to the Technodrome. But I'll keep playing.
I'll see this same driving around on the Ninja Turtles van on the same city street and going to this swim through this dam again. But I don't know. That's that whole thing of them. I don't know if I was making a game and then
I'm going to be Ganon with no arrows.
Why would they even like
and a wooden sword?
Why would they want you to
whack super horn?
I just haven't hit that in a long time.
There you go. It's that, like if I was if I was behind the game and I was like, they're playing this game for the next 100 hours, 200 hours on me for free. Like they paid $60 once and they get that much entertainment for it, and it's kind of like.
It worked the same in Mario Kart. It's just that now there's servers to maintain.
Yeah, there's
a cost.
There's a cost of keeping
to having. Yeah, and that's why only Bungie and Modern Warfare do it, because they sell the number of copies to warrant that kind of community.
But someone in the comments made the point that it was like, well, their benefit is that their game was bought instead of someone else's. Like, they heard through word of mouth that this game was really fun multiplayer, and you'll be playing it for months. So that makes someone go buy it instead of that other game that they could have bought. And so that's your reward as a developer, not that you need to nickel and dime us till we got to pay $10 a month to play Call of Duty or WoW, WoW already you do have to pay, obviously, but
Yeah, I won't name names, but I really hate getting, like, here's some updates to our multiplayer. I'm like, you haven't fixed anything. Like, I don't want to tell our readers that you've updated your horrible, horrible multiplayer, because essentially duping. That was, like, the impetus behind that whole, like, top 7 games that don't need multiplayer.
Yeah.
Like, it's not crucial to them, and I don't want them spending money on like, maintaining their multiplayer when they could be making more games in that series single player.
But then you have the opposite side of the spectrum with, like, the Left 4 Dead fans saying, how dare you make more games in this series? You should be endlessly supporting the multiplayer.
Yeah.
Of course, that game is all multiplayer, so it's more understandable.
That's all I got.
I don't know. I do want. But seriously, it's got to be just kids playing single screen multiplayer. It's got to be just kids.
Doing what?
Playing single-screen multiplayer.
I would think.
Like
so.
otherwise, it requires the fucking internet, which is a more substantial charge.
Yeah.
Focus on it or don't. That's what I fucking say.
Yeah.
How much is to play online? $45 a year. That's how they get you.
Remember, people
That's how
fucking
they get
people
you.
pitched a fit about Shadowrun, and I'm like, no, that seems justified. Like if that's what they're focusing on, and the Xbox Live fee that's all they get.
I wouldn't have minded it at all if they hadn't called it Shadowrun.
Yeah, that okay. Good point. But speaking of multiplayer, let's get.
We got to go back in time.
I want to be better at Street Fighter.
Okay.
Yeah, we'll go back in time. I want to be better at Street Fighter.
Okay.
Specifically,
Grim and I are keeping up with our
2 or
matches.
3. 3. I want to be better at 3.
Okay.
For Third Strike Online?
Yes, Double Impact.
Third Strike Online.
No. I'm only playing on the Dreamcast.
Well, a little late.
I want to be better, and I realize one of the things I crucially lack is shit-talking skills. And this guy, his name is either Snickers or Milky Way. One is playing the other. Amazing.
Eat that fireball, hoe. Sup, bitch? Sup, bitch? Bitch! Cheating, hoe. Bitch! Sup, bitch? Huh? Eat that, hoe. Oh, fuck. Bitch ass.
African American.
Yeah. I do hear a lot of tigers, which suggests it's Street Fighter 2 and not 3.
I'm just saying.
Okay.
I lack the shit-talking
Right.
skills. The fucking SF2 sounds in this fucking make it for me. That's why I have to play it.
Tiger.
Bitch! Quit cheating, bitch! Bitch, eat that hoe. Bitch, eat that hoe. Bitch! Bitch, oh, eat that hoe. Bitch! Cheating ass shit.
Sometimes you come across cheating ass shit.
Right.
But it's not something that should detract you from playing again and getting better.
Right.
But I don't talk the consistent level. I'm not editing that together of talking shit. This is like what, 2 rounds?
Yeah.
Shit, bitch, shit, and then this is the end.
That hoe ass shit, man. This some hoe ass shit, man. This whole hoe ass shit, man.
I have a little more though.
What up? Move, bitch. Ah, I got you, hoe. Bye. Oh shit, combo. Bitch. Eat that hoe. Bitch. Yeah.
African American.
Last one.
Bitch, come on. What's up? Bitch, eat that hoe. Bitch, eat that hoe. Bitch, oh shit.
Ow.
Bitch. Bitch, eat that hoe. Bitch, eat that hoe. Bitch, eat that hoe.
Jeez.
Bitch, eat that hoe. Bitch. Bitch, eat that hoe. Fuck! Cheating, dog.
Wow, it was like a climax and release.
What a payoff. Jesus Christ.
Seriously, that was the online equivalent of ejaculation. Online equivalent. I had one of those last night. There is no equivalent.
Bitch. Wow.
Just wonderful. I want to be
the
that
speed
Milky
of
Way.
bitch that hoe. Bitch that hoe. Bitch that hoe.
Shit. I didn't grab as much as I wanted, but I wanted to give a shout out to Michael Rapar's genital attacks. I wanted to get all of them, but some of them are just like punching sounds.
Yeah. Like if he closes like Mortal Kombat, I can just mine this. Like, ooh.
I mean, I didn't understand. Like I just shrugged off what you were saying. What's the worst one? And you were like, yeah, it's a football game. Like,
yeah.
What? Wait, what? What is the worst nut shot in this whole article?
It's Blitz the League 2. It is the only one that
I'm gonna have to give you a dramatic. Yeah. Oh, what?
Yeah.
What?
It is fucking horrifying.
It's like really bad.
Yeah. The thing with Blitz the League.
Should we describe it first?
Sure. A little bit of context here. Blitz the League 2 is a game that it's dirty football basically, and so you have these dirty hits, and your players can get really badly injured, and when they are injured, it cuts to like this CSI, too much information cam style, like CG representation of their musculature, and you see like if they get a dislocated shoulder, the bone actually like juts out through the muscle, and blood sprays everywhere, and like there's actually a compilation video on YouTube that's fairly brilliant. Somebody set all these things to What a Wonderful World, and it is just horrifying to watch. Like these feet, like there's this moment where they like tense and then like just tear apart, and hands and wrists, and it's horrifying. And
as the article escalated, it was God hand. What? Name something else in the article.
Let's see. Punisher.
Punisher.
He pushes a guy crotch first into a table saw.
Watching this first, none of them meant anything anymore.
No, until that one. Yeah.
I can't believe it. I can't believe
it's
it.
Just what it does is it's a CSI too much information cam, but it zooms in on your player's balls when he does something that gives him when somebody does something to him to give him a ruptured scrotum. And it isn't.
Didn't merit a rim shot.
No, it wasn't even anywhere near a joke. It zooms in to an interior view of the scrotum, and you see these two balls hanging there. I think with entirely too much space around them.
Yes,
it's like he has
incredible.
an inflated scrotum.
They look like uvulas.
Yeah, they're just sort of hanging there in this giant expanse of nothingness, and all of a sudden, like, one of them just rips the fuck open. One of these fucking detailed testicles rips open, starts twisting around, spraying blood everywhere, and it snaps off, and the camera is sprayed with what I'm pretty sure is semen.
Let's see. Let's listen.
Yeah, there you go.
Like what? And the guy
when your ball busts inside you, it sounds like water hitting a sidewalk.
Yeah.
It sounded like Macho Man Randy Savage throwing up, and I have no idea why that happens. More importantly, why your testicle could rupture and then spill that much cum all over the inside of your balls.
Yeah, that is a bit weird. And why it would spot on the camera lens.
You said CSI numerous times. The only other game I've seen visibly seen semen, cum in
jizz
is the CSI
man
game.
Fat.
Like games can rarely ever get away with that.
It is very
because of the amazing double standard. Games can't show cum.
Oddly enough, those games are marketed to mothers.
It used to be NBA Jam for football, and now there's exploding testicles.
Yeah,
like micro close up, wonderful. Okay, let's go into break. What is it? I hope I can grab this, but the Joseph Gordon-Levitt interview with Jimmy Fallon. And I give Jimmy Fallon a bunch of crap for sounding like Steve Brule, which is true.
Yeah.
It's totally awesome for your health, games. But he does a lot of game stuff. And I love Joseph Gordon-Levitt when he compared Street Fighter to chess.
Oh, it's such a great... he goes... It's only like
so awesome to hear a pretty celebrity say that about a video game.
A very attractive male celebrity just go, no, Street Fighter is serious.
Especially when you know his name and everyone's like, haha, Joseph Gordon-Levitt, but he was amazing in Inception.
Yeah.
In Inception, I thought, like, this is a bunch of is this wire fu? And he did something as an actor that convinced me he is in anti-gravity right now.
Yeah.
And he was. That scene where he just gets knocked out and he's heading towards the floor and he twists his entire body like a fucking seal, like heads back up. I'm like, all right, they're doing this in that plane that leaves the atmosphere. Fucking amazing.
Vomit comet.
See Inception. I think Ryan McCaffrey and I talked about it a lot more on OXM. You guys don't want to talk to me about Inception.
I'm done talking about it.
It's mean. We're going to hear that when we get back. More game deals, terrible arguments, question of the week, and hopefully an ending.
Phone calls?
Phone calls are ready.
It's Ted DiBiase, the $1 Million Man, and you're listening to Talk Radar on GamesRadar.com. Dig it!
You want like a character arc in your commercial? No, I just don't want to do commercials, man. I don't do that stuff. Yeah. But the thing is like my parents were like, responsible parents, like, you can pay for your college by doing a couple of these, and that makes a difference. They're like, look, if you do 2 commercials, you can buy whatever you want. So I was like, this was my first compromise. And so I went and started auditioning for commercials, and I got a few parts, and I did like a Cocoa Puffs commercial and a Pop-Tarts commercial, and Were you cuckoo? Yeah, man. And it was an existential crisis at a young age, man. You made like an insane No, I was choice. really upset about it. Really method actor-y? You really went nuts for Cocoa Puffs? Yeah, man, no one could talk to me for days. They were in a mental institution. Yeah. But then, so then I got to buy anything I wanted, and I got myself a Street Fighter 2 like an arcade game, you know, because this was like 1990, I don't know, 3 or 2 or something. You couldn't play Street Fighter 2 at home. You know, they didn't have that on Sega Genesis. Nowadays, you could play Street Fighter on your phone probably, but like, you know, I got an arcade game.
Actual arcade game.
Yeah, man. Yeah, like the real arcade game that you like put quarters in.
Yeah, it's like Silver Spoons.
Yeah,
Rick and Shredder. Yeah. Totally know that. I was always jealous of that show.
And Street Fighter is like, I don't know if you remember, but Street Fighter 2 is the game. Like all these, you know, ancestors, like Mortal Kombat and then Tekken, all that. I don't know, like. I think Street Fighter is the real deal. And like,
started with Street Fighter 2. Oh, yeah. That was the big thing.
That's like the fast-paced chess game, you know? Like, that's where the real skill is at. Like, all those other games have a lot of blood and gimmicks and stuff, but, like, I feel like Street Fighter 2 is, like, for the
strategy?
Yeah, man.
Compared it to a chess game? That's so good.
Jimmy, you obviously never really played Street Fighter 2.
No, totally. No, I was, like, stuck playing tabletop, like, Centipede at my parents' Pizza Hut that I used to go to.
Right, okay.
And I was just like, can I have some quarters? And they would go eat and drink beer, and I would just play Centipede.
I see.
Yeah, I was a big Centipede.
Right.
Hey,
and you were like listening to Poison, and I was listening to Nirvana. I think is the way that works.
I think it was. Yeah. Yeah. By the way, Generations.
You win. Perfect.
And now Henry Gilbert weighs in on the important issues of the day. Welcome to Hank's Corner.
Oh my God! What a fucking weekend. So. I go home, and I see that all of a sudden tons of people are commenting on my Transformers review. You fucking dicks. I hate you all so much. Did you even read the review? One of you guys getting mad that I mentioned Omega Supreme, and then you say, like, and why didn't I mention Stan Bush? It's because that would have been the spoiler that you're mad about Omega Supreme being. And I was the only person who didn't mention Stan Bush the day it came out. And all you people telling me I overrated it, you know that fucking IGN gave it a 9? Lots of people gave it high scores. I am not alone in this. And you assholes fucking telling me I should be fired for my dog shit review. Fuck all of you guys. God damn it. Dracula XX, you were the meanest fucker. Thank you for saying that I look like a prepubescent Rosie O'Donnell. Thanks. Abbott Frizzle, you were also very mean and specific in my need to be fired. Stone Dreadnought 2, fuck you also. But the biggest fuck you goes to Sausage Lozenge, who fucking spammed the thing hundreds of times with his one comment, begging me to comment on it. And I refuse to, because that's not how you win. Win a contest! Yes, I figured it out afterwards. After I spent several hours being angry. Then I finally listened to the podcast and heard Chris's response for the asking you guys to comment for the contest. But man, you know, you guys didn't. He told you not to get personal. Some of you people were really fucking mean. Anyway, Sausage Lotions, you don't win anything because you fucking spammed too much. And you even private messaged me to beg me to comment so you'd win. But no, fuck you. The winners, though, the two I picked were, first was Hoodie, because he was technically the winner of the rules they had before to get a reaction out of me. He did it very early on, and where he said that I had a bunch of bias, that I was super biased towards the Xbox over the PlayStation, even though I gave it the same score. And then I made a joke, because I thought he was being serious. I made a joke saying, then I guess I should have knocked 2 points off the PlayStation review, because Sony sucks. So, Hoodie, you won by the rules of the game. The other person I choose as the winner is I Jizz Lots. And I'll tell you why you win. It's because you didn't get personal, and you made it funny enough that I could laugh at it both before and after I knew it was a contest. My favorite part was that you said that the Black Lanterns were your favorite Marvel villains. That was really great, and it also proves that you know, like, you've been paying attention, and so that's why I want to reward you and Hoodie. All the rest of you guys, go to hell.
Hi, Chris. I'm here on the corner of Sierra Point Parkway and Shoreline Court in South San Francisco, where we're giving away a ton of StarCraft 2 swag. Congratulations to Games Radar reader Leonhardt623. You've won a StarCraft 2 Wings of Liberty Collector's Edition, a copy of Heaven's Devils, and a StarCraft 2 t-shirt. Also, congratulations to users Zeetlock and One-Eyed Goon. You have both won a sweet StarCraft 2 t-shirt. Don't forget to visit Games Radar on Saturday for a super sweet Plants vs. Zombies surprise. This is Tyler Nagata reporting live from the Games Radar Choplifter. Back to you, Chris.
Hey, does anybody want to listen to the rest of this motherfucking podcast? Yeah!
Boom.
Now we're back.
Booyah. That's the game music of the week that I did this week. Airzonk. I don't care what anybody says.
Airzonk's good.
The song is epic. Fudgin'.
Yeah, I was... Sorry, guys. I was talking to my mom on the break. Because my sister left for Holland this morning, where she's going to live and study for like a year or two.
A year?
Possibly more.
What she studying?
Some sort of branch of biology that I always forget. It's like animal behavioral psychology.
Jesus
I can't remember.
Christ. All right, I've complained about my mother a lot. My parents were just in town.
Yes.
I had to take days off to entertain them, taking the stupid fucking Coit Tower, get them goddamn
Coit
Coit.
you don't so much complain about your mother as you do call her a stupid fucking cunt.
Fuck her. She had had to buy her clam chowder in a fucking bread bowl. Like, that's not something you can get everywhere else in the goddamn world.
It isn't.
It is too.
No.
I can make you anything in a bread bowl sandwich. It doesn't matter. I tell my mom every day, do not call me at 2 o'clock. That is our busy time, and she does it every fucking time. And I ignored her phone call today, so I didn't have to yell at her. Let's see what my mother had to say. I'll give you a hint. Caesar is my dog.
Okay.
That's from Caesar to you. Hope all's well. We had a great time. Love meeting Heidi. She's lovely. Sending you a package in the mail. Love you. Talk to you later. Bye.
What a fucking bitch. I told her over and over again, do not call me when I'm at work.
And do not leave me your fucking stupid sweet messages.
No! Do not have your stupid dog howl in my face. He's not mine anymore. I don't fucking care about him. I left him to die. It's the fact you take care of him. He's not mine anymore.
Dog's only supposed to live for 4 years?
Survival of the fittest. I thought so. That's why I bought him.
Jesus Christ.
Because he's property.
Stupid ass mom. TalkRadar presented by Arcrise Fantasia. You know what? That's a good segment.
Most RPG characters do have mother problems.
Game deals time. What? What?
Save a little money for a rainy day.
What are you buying? What are you buying?
It really is the best jingle of the whole show.
Yeah, I'm trying to get some more. Just, goddamn, I keep forgetting. Kmart. It's very interesting to watch Kmart step up its game.
Yeah.
There's a Kmart blogger. That's like all he does.
God.
No, but he's good. He's good.
I think like the Kmart that I went
He
to.
lets
Good. Something associated with Kmart is good.
He lets. I think there's some weird thing where like users can write the game descriptions, and they post them in the store. If they're funny or the community votes on them, I don't know. I think it's a good deal.
It's probably not a bad idea. It's just kind of like I think your brand image is pretty set, Kmart.
A little bit.
I don't know if you can climb out of that hole.
Around you.
They'd have to change their name and their entire image, and then they'd lose what little value the brand has.
Well, but they got to do something to survive.
I think the Kmart that I grew up next, like that I went to as a kid, I think it finally closed a year or two ago.
I know the Kmart that was next to my parents' house closed down. I bought 3 Mario Paint mouses.
Wow.
No game. Why? It was so sad. It was this giant store, and all there was a metallic rack in the middle of emptiness. Like, just take it. I don't care. Name your price. and 3 mice, 3 Mario Paint mice. I got them. I want to turn them into a weapon of some kind because I guarantee I could hurt somebody just like swinging that long donk.
Yeah.
But they have, and we've been doing a lot of Xbox deals, cheap points. This is a little better. If you buy a $20 PSN card, it gives you a $10 game coupon. Buy a $50 one, you get a $20 game coupon. And they also have a bunch of Activision bundles. Guitar Hero 5, I think the guitar bundle, $49, not bad. The Band Hero bundles down in Guitar Hero whole set bundles down to $79.
Oh my god.
Tony Hawk Ride and DJ Hero
keep sliding.
$39 for the bundles.
Wow,
this weekend. It's a good deal.
That's great for
I
DJ
might get
Hero.
DJ Hero for $39.
That is perfectly good for. I really like DJ Hero. So
Did you see Tony
that's good.
Hawk is rehabilitating with his own game?
Oh god.
He tweeted about it.
Of course he is.
That's sad.
It's. I'd say it is sad, but having met Mr. Hawk and interviewed him, he's really fucking good at that terrible,
He really
unresponsive
believes
game.
in it too.
I think that was a little difficult for him. Because watching him play, it seemed like the most fun thing in the world. He was really fucking good.
Yeah. Well, I guess if you're a pro skater, then yeah, I mean,
he was playing on a hard.
You could probably wring some enjoyment out of that.
But
game.
it's sort of like even like people who do demos for us don't like completely kick our ass and show us how great they are. But like Tony Hawk just naturally like killed at Ride, and I'm sure there's another one.
It's just like I think like the more that people try to remove the controller and replace it with some peripheral, it starts becoming less wish fulfillment, and now it's like you have to have some measure of bodily coordination and physical contact with this thing. And aside from the fact that it's a stationary object supposed to mimic a thing, you're never supposed to leave your feet, and it's supposed to become a part of your body and all this shit. Apart from that, I don't want to even have to begin to try to mimic actual skateboarding moves.
No.
I want to play Tony Hawk 1, 2, or 3. That's what I want to do.
Yeah, but I've said it a lot. I don't see why more people don't write about like clearly what. I think that's over. But what Activision was trying to do is
a peripheral game.
We don't like playing licensing costs. Fuck the PS3. What they wanted to do is they want every one of those peripherals to be their own consoles.
Yeah,
so they
they
developed
did.
like very rudimentary games, which it worked for Guitar Hero. Yeah, you don't need the 360 or a PS3 to process that shit.
Yeah,
it could come straight from the guitar. And then they did it with Tony Hawk. And the same. Yeah, you could process that and
build some crappy game in a.
You could build that hardware in the skateboard, but the game is terrible. It looks awful. It's not the Tony Hawk we all remember. And it's just Activision, I think, wanting more than anything to be its own console without ever creating a console.
Right.
Just a bunch of shit you plug directly into your television.
Well, there's already a ton of that crap at Walmart and Toys R Us.
Exactly.
Like the Snowboarding X2 with
and
four
it's probably
shitty...
pretty successful.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. I'm sure it sells great. Or like those,
or like all the Woo consoles in Chinatown.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Woo. Well, also those things like they make where you plug in and it's 6 classic Namco games and plug into a TV. It's like those games fit in a controller now. So
Yep.
Those are fun.
No, in a single iPhone app.
Yeah,
they have
that.
six fucking Namco games. Game deals. I forgot we're still neck deep in that. The Final Fantasy 13 360 bundles are $2.99. Sorry, Elson. But they also come now with UFC 2010 and BioShock 2. Well, good. Stop yawning. It's a good deal, Michael.
I still need to play
it's
BioShock
still not the
2.
new 360, which is like getting the new Slim one, which I've already figured out the name of, is the only thing that would convince me to buy a new console right now.
One of those came out this week. That's 4 gigabytes. So it's like it's like the arcade version of the 360 console.
Right.
That didn't come with a hard drive, but this one comes with a little memory.
Really?
Yeah, 4 gigabytes. I mean, not a lot of people like Xbox Live, man. Like, I don't care. I don't need that. I just wanted some room to save my shit.
Right.
GameStop has a dickload of 2-for-1 deals, albeit a little iffy, because they get to decide which games come in the 2-for-1 bundles.
Right.
For example...
Oh, sure.
For example, we have Mirror's Edge.
Yes.
Bundled with Fracture. $19.99. This one, for 360, Far Cry 2, and Hawks.
That's good.
I'll take that.
Yeah,
Hawks, $29.99.
Wait, $29?
$29.99.
Come on, man, just make it $20.
Yeah, well, they're getting there. I think this one's also $29.99. I forgot to write the price down. For the PS3, Ninja Gaiden Sigma.
Yeah.
Coupled with what's the most appropriate game? Brothers in Arms, Hell's Highway.
Oh, God. Man,
29 to 1999.
I went to a launch party for that, and then in 2 weeks it was $30.
I don't think I've ever seen a game's price drop that fast.
Yeah.
Well, it's Ubisoft for you.
What company?
Ubisoft. They are a game deals hero.
They are. No,
GameStop.
Oh, has the two packs?
This is true.
No, it is good for us that they drop those prices because it's sweet. And you wait 2 weeks and a AAA Prince of Persia goes down.
Let's not pretend that every game is Modern Warfare, Halo, and some some games are just every game I write about in game deals is some game that magazines ignored. Review scores were middling, if even existent.
Well, Mirror's Edge scored pretty well.
But they're very endearing to me. Well, I just like to encourage people to play as much as they can. If you find something cheap, I used to always try and buy it until it started stacking up.
Yeah. I mean, Mirror's Edge is really...
Oh, Mirror's Edge is phenomenal.
It's good, it's not that long, and it's a completely unique experience, and it looks fantastic, so it's totally worth playing.
Some of these other games, yes, a little soulless, but they're still fun,
yeah.
And there's still something redeeming about them. We usually do a question of the week.
We usually do. Are we in the community segment now?
Yeah.
We do need a sound for that, I guess.
Yeah, probably. Community. Probably just be the theme song for Community.
Community.
Do we have one for this week?
I've got a question, yes.
Well, last week's question was, what's an argument you refuse to lose?
Yeah, it was GamesRadar.com/forums, everybody.
Mm-hmm.
It was kind of like an argument that it didn't have to be game-related specifically, just what's an argument
No, Michael said the Jews killed Christ.
I did not.
Really? All right, that must have been Henry.
It was just an argument you had as a kid, or even recently, as yesterday.
That'd be an argument I'd make just to find out if my wife listens to the podcast. If she doesn't.
She might. I got something for her this week.
Yeah. I bet she would if I said that.
Wait until
it wouldn't even be. It'd just be pure serendipity and coincidence. It's she just happened to listen to that one.
It's happened to me before. It's fucking terrifying. You called me a what? Why do you call me fat on the podcast? What are you talking about? I don't even have a podcast.
But in this case, it was any argument that you knew you were in the wrong and you refused to acknowledge, and just no, I'm going to hang on to this. I know I'm wrong, but I can't be wrong in front of everybody.
People sort of ran with that and kind of took it. Speaking of which, before we get into that,
oh god.
Yes, you've heard the winners of the Transformers contest. I believe it's I Jizz Lots and Hoodie.
Oh, from Henry's Hank's Corner?
He came into work and wow, dude, that I can't believe you did that to me. That really hurt my feelings.
So in a way, you won.
I didn't. That wasn't the point. It was supposed to haha. But you fucking assholes. There's 380 fucking comments on the Transformers 360 review. I told you not to get personal.
Mm-hmm.
And you did. And you hurt Hank's feelings. And he didn't know for a while. So I think Hoodie won the prize because Henry responded to him not knowing that the contest had existed. And well, that's not true. Here, listen, hear me out. No, Henry, he's just trying to win a free game. Jesus Christ. I am so sorry. A couple people misinterpreted the question of the week. What was an argument you refused to lose? And some of them were on the right side. I guess we didn't specify that you had to be on the wrong side.
I would have preferred, but whatever.
I like the stories anyway.
Yeah, if the story's good, I'll take it.
Hate Breeder, who I better see some art from for the
Design the TalkRadar
ad contest. Those are scarce right now. We need the Hate Breeders.
Yes, if you know anything with Photoshop, or even have a friend with Photoshop who could dictate your vision and knows the craft, get it in.
If you win, I will send you personally $21. $21 in addition to what you're already winning, which I'm not really clear on. Hate Breeder said, for an argument he refused to lose, I was working in a store called Smith's, parentheses, very similar to Toys R Us, so Brett may appreciate this, over last Christmas on Boxing Day. I guess it's Canada.
Wow.
This seriously pissed off fella came into the store with an iPod Touch and a crying daughter and a receipt. He flew past the rather large queue and basically grabbed me by the ponytail, parentheses, yes, I know, I have one, fuck it, and was screaming that me, as in specifically, had sold him a 16 gigabyte iPod Touch and charged him for a 32 gigabyte, which is quite a bit dearer. I calmly shoved his ass into a Modern Warfare display we had at the time, and then within mere seconds of looking at the receipt, he had given me... we'd identified that he had been charged for a 16 gigabyte iPod on that day. I wasn't even working. Suffice to say, it wasn't having that, and it wasn't that he screamed at me, but then his daughter burst into tears. So he requests the manager and tells him the same thing. Seeing as the manager, his managers know all, he took one look at the receipt and noticed something I missed. It indicated that he actually bought it from a different branch, and that no one in the store had even seen him before. After storming into the store, I was brought into the office and given a warning, and then I was let go a few days later for attacking a customer on closed-circuit television. If I ever see that guy again, a stabbing will happen. Sorry, Hate Breeder, you deserve better. Felix the cat had a story a few years back, maybe about 2 years. A guy at my school came up to me and said that he knows more about Mario than me.
So there.
In the words of Arnold Schwarzenegger, big mistake. I started asking him really dumb questions about incredibly vague characters and where they came from. I started off with Koopa the Quick, and eventually, and that took him a while, he answered in all of my questions about Mario characters correctly. But then I asked him about where General Guy and Don Pinata came from, and then I started asking him about primary platforms were in World 5.5 and Super Mario Bros. 3, most of which he got wrong. Before I started to laugh, I asked him what Mario game KK Slider was from. He's my favorite Animal Crossing character.
Right.
And he said, I think that was Mario 64. Yeah, Mario 64. I called him a dumbass and walked off. That's a nice way to win an argument. Trickery. I Jizzlots. Wow, big winner today. But this is great. An argument you refuse to lose. Sticks to the criteria. Didn't know this about Jizzlots. His avatar is a glass of milk being filled.
Right. Violently being filled.
Violently being filled. Koreans don't all play StarCraft because I am Korean. Since my brother...
But is he Korean living in Korea? That's the kicker.
I think so.
Oh, wow.
Since my brother hogged the computer all my childhood, I was never exposed to StarCraft for the 7 years I lived there. He says, I've lived there. And maybe he's still living there. All he played was Diablo and Diablo 2.
So still
very different. Very different games. Probably a completely different company.
Still in Blizzard's pocket for life.
So, of course, I started hearing that Koreans just play StarCraft in a message board, and I started a thread about how it's a false stereotype. I was bombarded with links and videos about StarCraft tournaments and news articles about Koreans dying from playing too much StarCraft. Odd how those all come from Korea. I refuted the claim despite the overwhelming evidence in front of me, so I decided to call my Korean cousin, whom I had not talked to for 6 years. After an awkward introduction, I asked him about StarCraft tournaments, which he replied with, "Oh yeah, I'm watching one right now." He then confirmed all the stories about StarCraft, but I would not accept. I then asked my brother the same questions, to which he told me I used to play StarCraft when we first moved to North America. I tried to hold my ground in the forums, and after being banned for excessive profanity, I installed and played a copy of StarCraft that we had in the house and realized that I indeed played StarCraft. And I'd been scared of the loading screen. Wonderful story.
It's so strange for a country to latch onto a game like that. Like
Yeah,
to just
weird,
say to the point where it's tied to your ethnicity. Korean. Oh, StarCraft.
I get
like
his
it's
point,
like oh, I'm really into Dead Rising. Oh, you must be German.
On the other hand, imagine what a fantastic ego boost it must be to have been the creative director on StarCraft.
I know. Like that guy is set for life.
My artistic vision has enthralled an entire fucking country. It has become a national obsession.
Yeah, what do you need? He goes to Korea. What do you need, sir? I don't know. Body sacrifice? Sure, whatever.
Yes.
You want prostitute? Here's a pyramid made of prostitutes.
Whatever. I can't imagine what Abner Doubleday went through, like after walking around after creating baseball. Like, but I'm sure he was kind of a celebrity. I never had even not covering my ass, but I never brought up Koreans like StarCraft in terms of like a stereotype, like Asian or Chinese are good at math and black people have big cocks. Like, I never thought of it like that, but that Koreans like StarCraft more than any other country.
Right.
That's usually how I meant it.
Yeah.
Not all Koreans like StarCraft. I don't even think all Koreans have electricity. That's the way I'm thinking.
Especially not in the north.
Not in the north. Not in the north. It's cold up there. Big glasses. And I was actually like sent I was sent messages to read something by Dust Rooster. I only have Aisha written down specifically.
Oh, yeah, I did read Dust Rooster.
An argument you refuse to lose. I was 4 and I had just moved to a new house way out in the country where there was no one around to play with. After a couple of weeks, my friend DJ and his parents came over to visit and see our new house. DJ and I were playing in the unfinished basement while our parents were having a prayer meeting or something, whatever,
right
upstairs.
An orgy.
An orgy. A god orgy. DJ was shooting at me with this plastic gun and totally missed me. Yeah, it was pretend, but he fucking missed. And then I, with merely my hand shaped like a gun, shot him right in the chest. You're dead. I got you. No, you didn't. You totally missed. This went on for a while, as these disputes usually do. I don't remember how it got to it, but I said something like, "You're just going to die of old age anyway." What? DJ said with total surprise on his face. I guess he never knew that everyone would eventually die.
Wow.
I'm not going to die. Yes, you are. Everybody dies. No, they don't. I'm not ever going to die. Yes, you will. So will I. So will your parents. This went on and on. Until in the end, DJ was crying on the ground. I could have stopped when I realized that he knew nothing about death, but I didn't. I knew I was right and could not leave it alone. DJ ran upstairs to his parents and told them how mean I was, and then I said that everyone was going to die. Like he's somehow responsible for the genocide. That everyone was going to die. In which they told him everyone would be fine and God will make them live forever.
There you go, problem solved.
That deserves a Windows ta-da.
Shelter your kids until they're adults. Let them know about death.
So they share your distorted viewpoints.
And here's where it gets dark. But
lie to them.
Says Dusty Rooster. But I knew the truth. Everyone dies. DJ and I never really got along the same way until we stopped being friends.
It reminds me of, like, I remember on a playground and like, as a kid, and this kid playing with him on this one of those big elaborate metal jungle gyms they would never build now. That's probably all right angles and sharp metal and real chains and oh, you fall into the grass. That's for kids. You're kid tough. You can survive a fall, right?
I fell head first off of one of those things onto what I think was about an inch of sand over a thick sheet of concrete.
Yeah.
And I got a massive concussion. Wow. Went to the school nurse and I can't see anything. And he's got a cut on his head. He's fine.
He's got to have a dinosaur band-aid.
Yeah, my school didn't have a school nurse. What?
You didn't?
Fuck
really?
No. Do you know my school was like 10 people in it.
Was it really?
Wow.
Yeah, the town was 800 people.
Did you have leeches? The teacher had leeches?
We had like witches.
But
it reminded me of this kid who would say, like, I'll kill you, and you'll, like, when you die, you're only dead for 2 days, and then you come back. Like, he was just convinced that's how it
awesome.
worked.
That's how it works on the playground, except it's 10 seconds.
That kid rules.
Yeah. Count to 10, and then you're alive again.
All right. What else?
I think my school had that same kid, actually.
I say, like, I wanted a guy I'm still friends with, and it's like, we have to study hard so we can get into college. No, dude, you pay to get into college. Like, not knowing anything about college. Like, you pay to get into college. No, you have to get really good grades. No, you don't. No, you don't. You should too. I'm going to ask my dad. And his dad came, yes, you have to study hard to get into college. Like, no, you fucking don't. No, you don't.
Well, you have to study hard to get into a good college.
I guess.
If you want to just go to a shitty state school, I mean, they'll take pretty much anybody.
Thank you, Michael. I think new users, I love profanity and filth.
Of course.
But I really think we may need to work on the filters for the names. This week is particularly filthy. Okay. I don't even know what this means. New users: Chow Time under Lizzie's Red Hood.
Wow.
Bukkake Bandit. Major Muscle Fuck. Flaccid Fetus 69.
Got to go all the way and get the 69 in there. Too.
Yeah. Random reference to TalkRadar.
That's good.
Chris Antista tastes like pizza. One of my favorites, waiting for Charlie to snap. The 8-Bit Bomb, great avatar, by the way. We also have Newkins, Gashin, and Cheesy Vaginal Discharge.
Makes that one didn't name check Oh, is he?
Next week it will.
Oh, Jesus.
Oh, Christ.
There's an
What have I
opportunity. You
done?
can't say,
Cut that.
you can't
Cut
say
that.
anything during this segment.
Cut it.
Morden Solus is giving me an alien blowjob. It feels good. And I just wanted to... He's not a new user. Austin SJ made a second comment.
Uh-huh.
But for the first time in 100 episodes.
Wow.
Yeah. Austin SJ. That is our new user segment.
What was the one a few weeks ago about the I'm a robot that turns into a truck and I find no levity in this situation? It's an entire username. That is really good.
Yeah, it was fantastic.
I got a new question of the week.
Ooh, what's your new question of the week?
Question of the week. I guess
Rattlesnake.
we're just this week for August is again. God, and that's from No Holds Barred. That's so great.
Wonderful.
Hey, this some hoe ass shit, man.
If you notice the Homewood Suites across the street, the lights are burnt out. It says Howood Suites.
Howood Suites.
So it does. Some ho-ass suites.
This really is some ho-ass shit. I can't think of another gardening implement.
This is also some ho-ass shit.
With which to compare this ho-ass shit.
This is some rake-ass shit. Question of the week.
Go for it, Els.
We're still doing these in GamesRadar.com/forums. I would love to find a way we could do them somewhere else. But we used to make an article, and I guess no one cared.
You guys didn't look at it.
I guess no one cared. Although maybe we just should do it again. Who
Fuck
knows?
'em.
But for this week, we will retain the GamesRadar.com/forums TalkRadar podcast. Question of the week. Answer. We'll read your stuff and just generally enjoy your participation.
Yes.
It's getting close to the fall release season, and September is kind of officially the beginning of with your Halo Reaches and your AAA big time holiday games. So just kick this off a little early and kind of jump the gun a bit. But since it's the first week of August, let's start on the fall. And what are what's your biggest game you're looking forward to this fall?
This fall?
This gaming season. And for me, I thought about this.
Something Capcom.
Oh dear, I forgot what the second one was.
Somebody
go.
I actually want to get involved in the Medal of Honor beta.
Really?
I really had a great time with the Medal of Honor multiplayer.
Really?
And yeah, I was kind of like, Medal of Honor, but I had played a lot of that multiplayer, even on PC, and I loved it. So I had a good time with it.
Does next week count as fall?
Uh-oh.
Or can it be a game I will likely play into the fall?
If you play it in the fall.
If I get it next week and play it in the fall, then Scott Pilgrim.
Scott Pilgrim.
It's coming out next week. I am tremendously excited.
How about that shit?
Yeah.
Did you guys get a knives assist?
No.
Yeah.
Is
Ramona, if you hit the button, I think it's knives, comes down with coffee.
Yeah.
Oh,
she's like everybody's assist. I think.
Is that what that
originally,
is?
her dad can be unlocked as an assist.
Oh, awesome. It'd be cool if her dad could be unlocked as a character.
No. There's only the characters, I think, the set number of characters.
Yeah. Are there secret characters? Do you know?
I thought I was told that there wouldn't be secret, like, they're pretty upfront on who you'll be able to play with, but, like, you can unlock a lot of assists.
No,
and you can unlock a lot of skins, but they'll ultimately be the same moves.
Yeah, and Mafia 2.
Mafia 2? That's
is
soon.
My other big one. That's the 24th, I think. So, I don't know. What else is coming out in fall that isn't Call of Duty or Medal of Honor?
That's kind of why I want to ask this question, is because I'm actually not really interested in what the big games are going to be pushed.
Yeah.
Me
neither. I think part of the problem is that they're putting so much focus on Connect and Move.
Yeah, there's that.
And it's like, I don't give a shit about any of that stuff.
I give one shit.
You get what's that one shit?
I don't. Maybe just for Dance Central, not just because we talked to the guys.
I just kind of like the idea of like a console that does voice recognition and face recognition and voice commands, because it's like, oh, that's kind of cool technology. That's like some Star Trek level shit.
I just
almost.
like turning it on with my voice. That's all I want.
Yeah. So I don't know, might get connected. I feel like I have an obligation to get Move because it's part of my job, but it's like, I really haven't seen anything yet that has convinced me this isn't just a more sophisticated version of the Wii.
Yeah, and I don't know. I want to see how the rest of the marketplace takes it, because I feel it's way too late. I was bored with that shit a long time ago.
They're coming in on the tail end of this.
Yeah, I think when they started R&D on it, I was a little bored.
Yeah.
I'm really floored at, like, A, how late they are, B, they're doing it at the exact same time and C, they're presenting it as if it's a brand new idea, that they're really bringing something new to the table.
That's the part I have the most trouble with all the press conferences. They act like they're the first on the scene with this idea, like nobody's ever done this before.
No one's even ever done a commercial like this before.
African American.
Okay.
I felt that. Damn it, I thought of this because some game today reminded me, like, wow, I think that is one of my most anticipated games of the fall.
Nintendo.
But I can't remember what it even was now.
Is it Kirby's Epic Yarn?
No, because it was none of the things, like, I am looking forward to Kirby.
Donkey Kong Country, GoldenEye?
No, it's none of those things.
Skyward Sword, or is that even... That's not this year. Okay.
Well, I remember one of them, but I'm trying to remember. But, like, I definitely want to play Kirby Epic Yarn. I'm going to enjoy it for sure, but... the only one I can definitely remember that I'm, like, really excited for, and I want it to turn out as good as I really want it to be good, is Lords of Shadow, Castlevania game. Like that is
fun with it.
That is probably the thing I want the most. Like, I love Castlevania. I think I love every single game in the series. That, aside from the weird shit, but I really know it really well, and it needs to have a modern update. It can't be Metroidvania forever, and I liked Lament of Innocence, and I didn't think the 3D ones were terrible. They weren't right. And I hope Lords of Shadow finally gets it right.
Something I appreciated in that, and it sort of maybe goes with the quality of being able to replay things. Like there's a horseback portion.
I saw
if you fuck up on the horseback portion, you're tossed off your fucking horse.
Yeah.
And the better you get at the game, the longer you stay on your horse, and the further you get through the level faster, which means I can replay this, and the better I get, I don't have to keep replaying this. And I don't know, I thought that was a nice concept.
I just hope they nail the feeling and the attitude of Castlevania and get the combat down.
Speaking of horses, I think it goes without saying, I'm also really excited for Brotherhood. Assassin's Creed.
Oh, yeah.
That was my favorite line from last week. Your fuck you, buddy, to the fast-running horse. What are you looking at?
I just heard a noise like that whole time you guys were talking, and I couldn't figure out what it was.
No?
I don't know what it was. It sounded like interference.
You look insane. I have bad news for you.
Oh, I'm sorry.
About the Castlevania game.
Yeah.
It doesn't feel like a Castle. I didn't feel anything.
I think in a way, it's going to have to not feel
except that it had a book.
It's going to have to feel like something new, but there are traits they can carry over to.
There are items they carry over
to keep the Castlevania spirit in it, and also like that idea of tackling the huge bosses, which I don't think that's been playable yet anywhere. But like that idea of like Shadow of the Colossus style things where you have to scale a monster and stab these things in it. And really take it down.
Feel that? I don't associate that with Castlevania.
It may or may not. It's all in how they make the world. Like Castlevania's been kind of tied to just being in a castle for a long time. So like I think there's a very clear way they could do this, and I just really hope it doesn't turn out to be like mediocre action game.
That's the motif is there. Like,
that's what I want.
But it was all I played was outside.
I'm going in this shit with an open ass mind, and I really
I had a great time.
I hope it doesn't disappoint me. So that's like more than Modern Warfare, more than anything. Well, not Modern Warfare, but more than any
I don't give a fuck about Black Ops.
I don't care about Black Ops. I don't care about Medal of Honor.
But I always say that. I said the same thing about Modern Warfare 2, and I loved it.
Yeah, I don't know. And I'm
about so sad about it.
I'm about to start playing Other M for review, so I'm hoping that all comes together as well. But that'll be out the end of the month. There was something else and I couldn't remember. Yeah, it's out in August. There's something else I can't fucking remember what it was. It's pissed me off.
Mic up. You want to know why?
Chris.
Someday we'll get that mic'd appropriately. First phone call.
Oh, yeah.
Wow.
This is Dracula Double X in the forums, and I'm listening to TalkRadar 110. Yeah. Christian Tista. Piece of garbage. I'm issuing a challenge to you. No. It'll be you and I in the middle of the ring.
Bring it on!
We are going to square off, and we're going to tie up, and I'm going to wrestle circles around you because I am the greatest. Christopher Antista, your cup of coffee, or should I say bottle of beer, is over, and the reign of Macho Vampire will begin.
Wow. Well, he sealed it.
First of all, I'm gonna rip you in half like a Twix bar. Eat one of you right now and save the rest for later.
I don't want to burst.
It hurts to talk like this. I don't know how Macho Man does it. I'm asking you if your cup of coffee is over is actually an expression. That's an interesting point, Michael. You bring up a great point. Is it a metaphor or an analogy?
I think I'm just going to leave that to you.
Ooh, I'm going to split you into 4 butt cheeks and fuck you in the middle of all of them. It don't make a lot of sense, but I'm going to do it anyway. Nobody question me. Yeah. Ugh.
You didn't want to have the heart to tell him that a Twix bar comes pre-broken. You don't have to.
Shut the fuck up, Elston! You're shitting all over my analogy. It's all I got in this business. I'm gonna break you like a Kit Kat bar, right?
That's acceptable.
All right, you happy with that one? You're gonna snap like a wafer covered in chocolate. Yeah, Elston.
Like another butter.
Like another piece of candy. Can anybody else think of something that snaps? Like a glow stick at a rave, Elston. I'm gonna break you open and bleed you over for my enjoyment. I'm gonna combine epoxy chemicals and weave you around in a figure-8 motion.
Wow. Broke character to laugh at your own joke.
It hurts so much.
Well, it's easier for you. You're a smoker.
Oh, wow. That was pretty good.
Now do Tom Waits.
Tom Waits. Hey now, you're an all-star. Tom Waits doing Smash Mouth. It's.
Hello, this is Sean Connery. We roll in the Pan to Destiny on the farms. I was curious as to what your guys' favorite video game genres are. Hopefully you answer before October.
Favorite genres?
Sean Connery sounding frailer than usual.
Sean Connery. And he retired, so that was very nice of him to come out and talk to us. Favorite genres? I like a lot of brawlers. I don't think I like shooters as much as I played them. But I don't know. I'm sort of like having a platforming renaissance. Digging that.
Brawlers, open world games, crime-centric games. Basically, my favorite games are the ones that just let you do anything you want.
Yeah.
I love Just Cause 2 for exactly that reason. Red Dead Redemption.
Beautiful.
Yeah.
I guess
your microphone.
I can't pick a specific one just because I play like a little bit of everything. But like I always end up like really remembering and being attracted to really cool old school games, things like Limbo or Castle Crashers or the new any 2D Castlevania. Like those are the things. Like Contra 4, I loved. Like it's kind of just like
you're stuck. That's what you're telling me.
Sort of stuck. But then I beat like almost every FPS that comes out. I beat FF13. I go through all these games. Like, but I just end up. But I agree. I could use a good platformer. Like, it's strange how they were so prolific and then kind of tapered off. In the PS2 era, they got really big again. But this new generation, there's just not been a lot. It's like if you want to play Mario Galaxy, which even then doesn't play like a real. It's so globy. Like I can't get that sense of going through a world and opening and unlocking things.
Banjo-Kazooie Nuts and Bolts almost did it.
Yeah, it almost did it. So that's why, like right now, I'm
Ratchet and Clank, Uncharted.
Yeah, like Uncharted it was excellent.
Uncharted, love. I never considered it a platformer.
Yeah,
do you think that counts?
I think it does because you spend a lot of time on platforms. It's
well, you
kind
do,
of an evolution of.
But like it's so shootery, it's cover and over the shoulder, and like. But I want a game that doesn't change the camera angle every time I do something.
Yeah,
like,
but it's still most of the time in the same area doing. I don't know, largely platforming
it's
things.
It's too run and gunny to me to be like classified.
Like there's not a lot of shooting in Uncharted.
Fuck, there was a ton in 2. I mean, I still loved it, but like, I want a new like Sly kind of, which is why I can't wait for Sly Collection. I think that was maybe the other one I was trying to remember. Actually, Sly Collection. I can't wait to play through Sly again.
All right, let's get to the next phone call.
Hey there, this is Ramen Dragon from the forum.
Hi.
I was just wondering what you guys thought of Adventure Time, if any of you have seen it. And this show is the greatest thing ever, so keep doing it forever.
I have seen Adventure Time, and I do like it a lot.
I've seen it. I don't I don't quite get its charm. Like, I can kind of see why people like it, but I don't know. It's just not quite my thing.
No, I completely dug it.
I want to like it. I've tried many times to like it, but it's just it seems like it should be my thing. But I don't know. It's just I like things with a little more teeth, I guess.
Something Nickelodeon rejected on numerous occasions. I think that it won favor on the internet. Like, look at this shit Nickelodeon rejected. It's amazing. And then Tyler and I in our new house turned it on, and it was just them talking to each other in auto-tune for 5 minutes, which I thought was fucking hysterical.
Wow.
Next phone call.
Hey guys, I was just walking home, and I had this tune stuck in my head, and I was trying to see if you guys can tell me what it's from.
Sweet.
I know it's an older game, and I think it was remade, but I don't know. I know it's not Street Fighter, because that's what came to my mind, but whatever. This is a song. Na 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 da da na
That'd be Punch Out.
That would be Punch Out, Elston.
Wow, how could he know all of that and then not be able to place it? It's pretty good.
Like when he's walking in the street.
Where you've just got a song
tons
stuck
of times
in your head, and you don't remember the name or where it's
Not
from.
for game music, because it's...
Yeah, it's my thing, man.
I mean, I get it for a song, but like a game music, there's no lyrics to remember, so it's just like you have to. Maybe that's why it's easier to get lost.
There's one that I always that pops into my head like that. And, like I've spent days trying to figure out where it's from, and then like finally after just agonizing over it, I was like, oh, it's that music from the Godfather game. Right?
Oh God!
It's like this. No,
it sounds like Punch Out. You sure it's not the King Hippo version? Or whatever Italian boxer's in there?
Maybe it'll be a game music of the day one of these days.
I'm looking forward
if I
to
don't
it.
find out that it's actually from the movie.
Next phone call.
Hey there, TalkRadar. This is Drew Harrison from Canada, or maybe Vital from the forum.
Good
Hello.
guy.
I just had a quick question. Whatever happened to FileRadar? A nice little site there that helped me find so many free games.
Huh? Fuck if I know.
Something happened.
I don't think so. I think there's still.
Huh?
I think it's still around.
You got us.
We're running.
Who knows?
ads
This
for
company
pretty-
like comes up with like silly whims and gives up on them without telling us.
That's
what happened to Gloob.
That
Nothing happened to Gloob.
What happened?
Gloob
Just to say, nothing happened, so it shut down.
Gloob stopped.
Yeah.
I actually don't know what happened to FileRadar. In fact, the fact that none of us even remember that it was gone is.
I didn't think it was gone. They're actually still running ads in the
I've
magazines.
seen ads in mags.
Well, I don't know how you get to it from our site now. Like unless you already had the URL
Oh, that's right. The
bookmarked.
tab is gone.
Yeah, unless you already had the URL bookmarked, I don't know how you get to it.
Well, this is embarrassing. I'm gonna have to move on to the next phone call.
Hey everyone, it's Griff. I've got a cold.
Griff.
I was listening to an old podcast, or a couple podcasts ago, and Chris said to call in if you got one. So I am. And if someone already did that in a later podcast I haven't listened to since I've been out of town, well, screw you. Anyway, I've got a cold.
I hope you had your iTunes set to auto download while you were out of town, buddy.
Yeah, buddy.
FileRadar.net just goes straight to Games R PC.
Oh, really?
Yeah,
I guess FileRadar's
weird.
gone then.
Wow.
Oh, that's
Anyway,
too bad.
back to the subject at hand.
What's FileRadar?
Who cares?
I tried to use FileRadar once because I was like, okay, what's this about? And then I went and it was like, free Doom 2 download. I was like, you know what? I don't have Doom 2 on this computer. I'm going to download it. Download it didn't work.
We're probably not
Never
supposed
use
to
this
say
again.
this, but they were all portal links to other things.
Yeah, they were. Or at least the thing I did was.
What's the time?
Anyway.
What's the time? All right.
That's the guy
we
from
did
last
this last
What,
week.
Did the last guy ask a question? I was too busy looking at
He asked about FileRadar.
He said he was sick. He got sick.
It's not good to be sick.
Go ahead and answer it. I don't. Maybe she needs you for something. I don't know. Fire alarm's going off.
The ending song?
Michael, Brett's alarm is going off in his house. We should probably close this out.
I guess we should probably wrap it up.
Are you doing anything next week you want to tease?
I'm doing something big on Scott Pilgrim, and I'm doing something about things we want to see in some upcoming game that hasn't been announced yet.
I like Scott Pilgrim. Did you know that?
I do too. I know you
Oh, yeah.
liked it because you had two of my books.
3 actually. So
Three. Well, one of them was Tyler. had
I've
it
never
for, like,
read a
months
Scott
and months.
Pilgrim book that wasn't yours.
Yeah.
How about that? So what's taking us out of here, Michael?
Ending music from Simon's Quest.
I will allow it.
Castlevania 2, Simon's Quest. You pick whatever, whichever ending theme comes up first.
All right, we will give Brett the last word.
That hoe ass shit, man. This some hoe ass shit, man. This
Brett.
whole hoe ass shit, man.
Oh, man. Brett, you've got a foul mouth.